Today was the first day of the new school year, but Zai Zai and her best friend, Jia, were late. They put on pitiful faces to ask the school on duty to let them off this time, but the result was not as expected. At this moment, the school on duty discovered a student sneaking in through the school gate. They immediately called the male student over. When the school on duty asked for his name and class, the male student hesitated and did not dare to say anything. The school on duty uncomfortably snatched the book from his hand. Luran's name was written on it. Before Guran could explain that it was his friend's book, the school on duty took notes. Jia misunderstood that it was one of the two male gods of the school. Because they were late to class, the two female students were forced by the teacher to stand up and introduce their names. When they heard Zai Zai's name, the teacher recognized her as the one with the highest English score in the school. The students were amazed and admired her as a top student. Jia was curious when he did not see Lu Rong in the classroom. He was clearly talking to the school on duty, who was also in this class. At the same time, in the next class, Lu Rang was also late. When he saw Lu Rang, Guran was nervous. He still hadn't told Lu Rang that he had used his name to fool the school on duty. Lu Rang felt that his friend was too enthusiastic today, making him feel a little guilty. After the class settled down, Lu Rang went to the broadcasting room. It turned out that on the way to school, he had picked up a wallet that a friend had dropped. They didn't know that the wallet belonged to Zai Zai. While cycling to school, she had accidentally dropped it. At this moment, an announcement rang out. A classmate named Pipi had dropped her wallet. When she heard this name, Zai Zai became embarrassed. She hurriedly tried to sneak out of the classroom, but Jia noticed something was wrong. After checking the school on duty, she returned the wallet to Zai Zai. They saw the name of the person who picked it up in the notebook. When she saw the names Lu Rong and Guran, Jia couldn't hide her excitement and went to look for them. She called out the names of two people. Lu Rong and Guran were stunned when someone called their names. As soon as they saw who was calling, Zai Zai pulled Jia to sit down in embarrassment. Zai Zai didn't expect that the first love she met at the grocery store was named Guran. Zai Zai remembered the early summer rain. When she went to buy milk at the grocery store, she saw a boy walking towards her. It was raining heavily, but he didn't bring an umbrella. Zai Zai thought to herself that he was an idiot. But when she caught the boy's eyes, Zai Zai's heart suddenly beat faster. She realized that she had fallen for him. Finally, they arrived at the military area. The teacher was extremely strict when reminding those who were talking. The teacher asked everyone to hand in all snacks, along with electronic devices, but the students still tried to find ways to hide some. However, Jia was caught red-handed by the teacher. Her punishment was to jump 50 times. Guran was laughing at her friend, so the teacher forced her to jump with him. Although he was not convinced, he still obeyed. He also said he would wait for Jia. But when the teacher said that whoever came last would be punished more, Guran left Jia to run ahead. Jia was angry at being betrayed. While standing in line, she badmouthed Lu Ran, who she thought was being punished with her. At the same time, she flattered Guran. Guran stood behind and smiled at how impressive she was. Seeing her friend puffing up his nose, the officer looked at Guran with a contemptuous look. At the same time in the infirmary, Zai Zai wanted to rest, so she turned on the air conditioner and went to sleep. At this moment, Lu Rang came over. Zai Zai thought it was the teacher, so she pretended to be sick. Lu Rang heard her calling for the teacher, so she helped her. Just as he was about to turn off the air conditioner, Zai Zai stopped him. As soon as he heard it, he knew that this girl was pretending to be sick, but he didn't expose her and even helped her tell the teacher. Today, the teacher suddenly inspected the female dormitory. The crime of using a phone is the most serious, and Zai Zai was holding the phone in her hand. Jia wanted to distract the teacher, so she admitted that she was hiding snacks, so Zai Zai escaped a disaster. Meanwhile, in the male dormitory, the teacher also suddenly inspected. Guran hurriedly ran away when the teacher checked. Luckily, he met Lu Ran. Guran quickly gave him the game console. Behind him, the teacher continued to follow the person who had just escaped. Lu Ran found a place under the stairs. Unexpectedly, Zai Zai was also hiding here. They heard the sound of footsteps getting closer. As soon as the teacher got off, a classmate shouted that someone had fainted. The teacher immediately returned to the dormitory. The danger had passed. Lu Rang was embarrassed as he sat next to Zai Zai. On the way back to the dormitory, Zai Zai tried to strike up a conversation with Lu Rang. He was surprised to hear her call him Guran, but Lu Rang did not explain. He just remained silent. Zai Zai still did not know that she had mistaken her name, so she kept bad-mouthing the person named Lu Rang. Lu Rang tried to hold back her laughter when she heard her accusations. Zai Zai asked if Lu Rang had had run away because she had hidden her phone. If so, he would let her hide it for him. Lu Rang obediently took the game console and gave it to her. He then thanked Zai Zai. Zai was happy when Lu Rang called her name. She was so happy that she could not sleep that night. The next day, Guran's group was punished to clean up after her. At this moment, Lu Rang came to report. He wanted to ask for the two of them to train with everyone, but the teacher did not agree. Guan Fang wanted to finish the work quickly, so he asked the teacher to let Lu Rang in to help. Because Guan Fang and Guran begged, Lu Rang had to join them in cleaning up. After the three of them finished, they returned to the training ground. Because Zai Zai wanted to impress Crush, she stood up to perform a song. She also said that she wanted to dedicate this song to Guran. But when Guran stood up, Zai Zai was surprised because that person was not the person she liked. Only now did she realize that she had mistaken the person. Suddenly, a thunderstorm came. The students quickly returned to the dormitory. Zai Zai ran to find Lu Rang. She didn't pay attention and accidentally bumped into him. The two stood looking at each other in the rain. Just as Zai Zai was about to apologize, Lu Rang was called away by her friend. That night, Zai Zai sat silently hugging the pillar. It turned out that the person she liked was named Lu Rang, but she always called him Guran. Jia comforted her that Lu Rang was a reasonable person, so he wouldn't blame Zai Zai for that. But Zai Zai's mood still didn't improve because she had previously badmouthed Lu Rang. Today was also Zai Zai and Jia's duty day. Because Zai Zai was timid, she always hugged Jia. Suddenly, a cat's meow made Zai Zai panic. Jia laughed and said that she would go get a flashlight from the storage room. As soon as Jia left, Zai Zai tried to walk quickly to where the light was. Suddenly she saw Lu Rang. Zai Zai took the initiative to greet Lu Rang, but she was teased by him. He asked her not to call him Guran anymore. Zai Zai asked him if he needed her to sit on guard with him to avoid being scared. Suddenly, Lu Rang pointed behind her. He said that there was something behind. Zai Zai was scared and told him not to scare her. Lu Rang laughed and said that there was only a leaf in her hair. Zai Zai smiled awkwardly to hide her embarrassment. Then she sat down right next to Lu Rang. She wondered why he treated her like that. Lu Rang looked at Zai Zai and smiled incomprehensibly. At the same time in the warehouse, Guran went to find a flashlight and accidentally got locked inside. He screamed in fear when the light bulb went out. Just then Jia came over. She screamed when she saw someone in the storage room, but when Jia realized it was Guran, she quickly calmed down. Guran begged Jia to save her from here. However, she turned around and left. Guran was embarrassed when Jia called her a coward. In the end, she sat down to make him less scared, but the two waited for a long time without seeing anyone coming. Guran told Jia to break the door, but she made Guran promise to compensate before helping. After the two reached an agreement, Jia used all her strength to push the door open. Finally, the door opened, but Jia fell on top of Guran. She was embarrassed, so she quickly stood up and left. Meanwhile, because Zai Zai was worried, she went to find Jia. She was scared and cried when she heard the noise behind her. Lu Rang immediately spoke up to comfort her. It turned out that the sound was just a cat's meow. At this moment, Jia and Guran returned. Then the four of them stood guard in front of the building together. And suddenly, Guan Fang appeared, holding a bag of baked potatoes in his hand. When Zai Zai was about to touch the baked potatoes, Lu Rang stopped her because she was afraid she would get burned. While the group was sitting and chatting happily, the supervisor came over. Everyone immediately ran away. The military service finally ended. It left a lot of memories in Zai Zai's mind, especially when she met and got to know Lu Rang. The next day, Zai Zai returned to class. Although she was very good at English, her test scores in other subjects were very bad. Especially Zai Zai's math score was very low. Her homeroom teacher was also a math teacher. Although the homeroom teacher was very kind, Zai Zai still felt pressured. At the same time, in Lu Rang's class, the teacher gave each student a test. The students were now in high school, so they needed to speed up their studies. As soon as class ended, many students asked the teacher if the school would allow clubs, but the school board did not agree. In the school, there were rumors that the teachers of the gifted classes themselves had asked to stop all club activities because they wanted students to focus on their studies. This made Zai Zai feel tired because Lu Rang's test scores were very high. So Zai Zai herself was not worthy of him. Because Jia wanted to help Zai Zai, so she made an appointment to meet Guran. She wanted to find out what Lu Rang's hobby hobbies were, because Guran was his best friend. However, Guran thought Jia was trying to get to know her. Because Guran wanted to annoy her, he refused to reveal Luran's hobbies. At this moment, a male student named Qian Yu walked over. That person was the person Jia liked. She was engrossed in looking at Qian Yu's back, but that look made Guran misunderstand. He thought Jia was looking at him, so Guran decided to help Jia. He turned to ask Lurong about his ideal type. Lurong said that the person must have long and soft hair. That person must be by his side every day, and especially that person must have big and smart eyes. They did not expect that Lurong was describing his dog. This false information was known to Zai Zai. She decided to impress Lurong. First, Zai Zai wanted him to feel that he was very smart. As soon as Lurong arrived, Jia helped Zai Zai show off yesterday's test scores. However, Zai Zai misread the unit name, which made her extremely embarrassed. Zai Zai's first plan failed, so she had to start another plan. As soon as school was over, Zai Zai ran to find Lurong. She wanted to show that she was very energetic, but Lurong didn't care. He got on the bus to go home. Zai Zai saw this and got on the bus with him. Both of them took the same bus route home. Because Zai Zai asked too many questions, Lurong told her to be quiet for a bit because he liked to look at the scenery outside. But just a few minutes later, Zai Zai asked if they had become friends. Lurong looked at her blankly. Zai Zai immediately reintroduced herself. However, her introduction was similar to how he described the dog. Lurong understood that Zai Zai had misunderstood, so he took out the photo of the dog to show her. Zai Zai was surprised to see that it was a dog. Her cute personality made Lurong laugh. That night, Zai Zai was disappointed because she thought she had lost her image in Lurong's eyes. Jia suggested a new way, which was to register with Lurong in the same club. In order to know which club Lurong joined, Zai Zai and Jia went to Guan Fang and Guran. Zai Zai suggested that she would invite them to drink milk tea for a month, and at the same time she would tell them the WeChat of the school beauty. Thus, a new alliance was formed. In the afternoon when Zai Zai finished school, she accidentally met Lurong's group at the tea shop. This was Guan Fang's grandmother's tea shop. Grandma was very happy to see that her grandson had many good friends. After eating, Zai Zai followed Lurong home. On the bus, she saw a man molesting another female student. Because Zai Zai was dissatisfied, he reminded him, but the man still denied it. He even threatened Zai Zai. Lurong, sitting next to him, immediately warned him to protect her. Under the pressure of everyone, he was kicked off the bus. Lurong asked if Zai Zai was not afraid just now, but Zai Zai said she knew he would help her. Lurong was embarrassed when she heard that. This attitude of his made Zai Zai very satisfied. When the bus arrived at the stop, Zai Zai still walked after Lurong. He was surprised to see that she was still following him. Zai Zai said that her house was in the front area. Then she happily said goodbye and ran home. The next day, the class president asked Lurong why did he join the drama club. Lurong looked down in surprise at Guran and Guan Fang. It turned out that this was the trick of the other two friends. In the end, Lurong still decided to compromise. Today was the first meeting of the drama club. Zai Zai was very happy to see Lurong appear. There was an empty seat next to him. When Zai Zai was about to sit in that seat, another girl had already taken it. This made Zai Zai feel a little regretful. A new day had begun. Today was the day to return to the English test. Because Zai Zai was the top scorer, the teacher showed Zai Zai's test to the class. Everyone was surprised to know that she was so good at English. Lurong was not only surprised, but also embarrassed, because her English test score was only 80 points. After class ended, Zai Zai went to see Lurong. She said that she came to his class to get the test, but everyone said that the test was with Lurong. Only then did he realize that he had taken hers by mistake. Since the two of them were in the library, Zai Zai took out her books and sat down to study with Lurong. But after studying for only 5 minutes, she yawned. Lurong laughed when she fell asleep. After a while, Zai Zai woke up. She was surprised to see that Lurong had not finished her English homework. This made him feel embarrassed. Lurong immediately picked up her bag and returned to class. Zai Zai immediately stood up and chased after him. She gave Lurong advice on English. She noticed that he was having trouble with it. Zai Zai said that although her English score was good, her physics and chemistry scores combined were not even 100 points. Zai Zai did not even know all the math formulas. Lurong did not know what she was trying to say. Zai Zai was embarrassed to say her weaknesses. Before Lurong left, she advised him to learn more English vocabulary. Then his score would improve. At the same time, Lurong's mother went to school to see the teacher. The teacher was very satisfied with Lurong's performance. However, his English score was still low. When Lurong ran to the teacher's office, he heard his mother criticizing him. Mother always praised her talented younger brother, Lu Li. This made Lurong a little sad. After school, Lurong went to find the English teacher. He said that there were some places he still didn't understand. At this moment, Zai Zai appeared. Because the teacher had urgent matters, she asked Zai Zai to help Lu Rong study, which made Zai Zai very happy. But when Lu Rong brought out the English test, Zai Zai was surprised to see that he made many mistakes. She asked Lu Rong if he had learned the new words. He obediently replied that he had memorized them. Time passed very quickly. Zai Zai helped Lu Rong understand the structure of the test. At this moment, the teacher came over. The teacher advised Lu Rong to ask Zai Zai to teach him, but Lu Rong refused. He didn't want her to waste time with him, but Zai Zai waved her hand and said she didn't mind. On the contrary, Lu Rang could teach her other subjects. Thanks to Zai Zai's guidance, Lu Rang had made obvious progress. The teacher also expressed her praise for the two of them. This made Ling Na uncomfortable. After Zai Zai and Lu Rong finished school, she gave him the knowledge summary book, but Lu Rang refused. Zai Zai still had no intention of giving up. She tried to approach Lu Rong. She wanted him to sign up for her class, but Lu Rong didn't pay attention to Zai Zai. That night, when Lu Rong returned home, he saw his mother inviting a teacher to teach him English. However, when Lu Rong saw the attitude of the teacher and his mother, he felt uncomfortable. Lu Rong said that he had found another English teacher. This made Lu Rang's mother angry. She wondered what was going on. Lu Rong didn't explain and turned around to leave. Coincidentally, when he passed by the convenience store, he met Zai Zai. She immediately invited him to eat together. Although Lu Rang refused, he agreed to Zai Zai's cute expression. Zai Zai watched Lu Rong eat deliciously. Lu Rang wanted to return the money to her, but was refused. Zai Zai suggested that he could treat her to another meal. On the way back, Lu Rong bought a lot of snacks. He said that this was the tuition fee he wanted to apply to Zai Zai's class. She was surprised but happily agreed. Zai Zai and Lu Rong decided to tutor each other. Zai Zai was very happy at this time. She finally had Lu Rang's contact information. When she got home, Zai Zai sent Lu Rang the first message. She asked what time he wanted to study tomorrow. Lu Rong made an appointment for her at 10 a.m. The next day, when the appointment time came, Zai Zai appeared with an extremely beautiful appearance, so Lu Rong kept looking at her. Zai Zai happily asked him if he saw any difference in herself. Lu Rang coldly said that she had dark circles under her eyes. Then he walked away without waiting for Zai Zai. The two of them chose a coffee shop near the school. Before the class started, Zai Zai wanted Lu Rong to call her teacher, but Lu Rong seemed to be unfamiliar with the words. Zai Zai gave him his vocabulary notebook, and finally Lu Rong called Zai Zai teacher, and the relationship between the two became closer. Zai Zai reminded Lu Rang to go to school on time every day. This made him laugh. Today, Zai Zai's class had a physical education class. Zai Zai and Jia were retested in basketball. While Zai Zai was practicing basketball, the ball accidentally rolled to Ling Na, but she did not return it to Zai Zai, but instead kicked the ball to the boys in another class. This made Jia upset. The boys were angry and looked for Ling Na to cause trouble. Zai Zai said that the ball was hers. When the boys saw her, they wanted to tease her. They asked Zai Zai if she needed him to teach them how to play basketball. And at this moment, Lu Rong's group walked in. They threw the ball straight at the bullies' heads. Lu Rang's group suggested that the bullies play a basketball game. The loser would do as the winner asked. Then a basketball game officially started. The girls all cheered for Lu Rong. Then Lu Rong's team completely overwhelmed the bullies. Zai Zai crazily cheered for the person he liked. The final result was that the bullies lost. Just as they were about to leave, Guran asked them to return the ball to Jia. This made Zhang Jia and Zai Zai very happy. At this moment, Qian Yu walked over. Jia's eyes were always on him. However, Guran misunderstood that Jia was looking at him. He tried his best to make an impression, but Guan Fang, who was sitting next to him, thought that Jia was looking at someone else. When Guan Fang finished speaking, Jia stood up and shouted Qian Yu's name loudly. This made Guran feel embarrassed, and Guan Fang beside her couldn't help but laugh. That night, Guran asked Jia out to talk. He was surprised that the person she liked was Qian Yu. Guran didn't understand Jia's intentions, because when she went to military school, she praised him. Jia explained that at that time, she got Guran's name mixed up with Lu Rong's. This made Guran extremely disappointed. Guran and Qian Yu had known each other since childhood. Because Jia wanted to take advantage of Guran, she followed him to ask for information about Qian Yu. Jia's joy was to see Qian Yu. Today, he asked Guran to eat with him. Jia felt that this was a good opportunity, so she asked to follow Guran. Because Guran was threatened by Jia, so she reluctantly agreed. At the same time, Zai Zai's group was also going back. Suddenly she remembered that she had something to do, so she said goodbye to Lu Rong and Guan Fang. The sky gradually darkened. On the bus, Lu Rang saw that it was raining heavily. He was worried about whether Zai Zai had brought an umbrella or not. The rain kept on raining and did not stop. Zai Zai was cold and wet, sitting in a corner to take shelter from the rain. At this moment, she saw a familiar figure. Lu Rang turned back and brought her an umbrella. This made Zai Zai smile happily. When the two of them walked back together, Zai Zai kept talking about going to see the zodiac. She felt that it was a good thing that it was raining today. Zai Zai asked why Lurang came back to school. He lied that he forgot his study materials in class. He also said that if Zai Zai forgot his umbrella next time, he should go to the staff room. Lurang then gave Zai Zai the umbrella. He saw her so happy and smiled. The next day, Jia discovered that Zai Zai had an unusual attitude. Because Zai Zai was having a good time, she generously invited her friends to a meal. But because of this, Zai Zai was hated by Ling Na. After break, Zai Zai brought an umbrella and a gift bag to Lurang. But since there was no one in the classroom at the time, Zai Zai wrote the name in the bag. When she returned, Ling Na saw her. A while later, when the whole class entered, Ling Na panicked when she couldn't find the class fund. She suspected that Zai Zai was the thief. So Ling Na reported this to the teacher. After the teachers checked the security camera, they confirmed that Zai Zai was in Lurang's class. The supervisor was angry when he thought that Zai Zai was the mastermind. Although Zai Zai's homeroom teacher tried to persuade him, the supervisor didn't listen. He even forced Zai Zai to admit his mistake. She was confused and didn't understand what was going on. Ling Na also told that Zai Zai had generously treated everyone at the grocery store just now, but Zai Zai insisted that it was her money. Everyone thought she was the culprit, but Zai Zai did not let herself suffer. She asked Ling Na to provide evidence that she was the thief. The instructor asked Zai Zai to explain why she went to Lurang's class. At the moment Zai Zai did not know how to explain, Lurang appeared. He said that Zai Zai came to find him. Everyone looked at Lurang. At this time, Zai Zai realized that it only takes a moment to like someone, and the person she liked was Lurang. She never regretted meeting him. Lurang said that Zai Zai came to give him his notebook. The teacher also confirmed that Zai Zai was tutoring Lurang. Lurang then gave the notebook to the teacher to check. Everything was just as he said. The supervisor wondered why Zai Zai didn't say it clearly from the beginning. Lurang explained that he had asked her to keep it a secret because he didn't want people to know that he was bad at English. The teacher spoke up to remind Lurang. Although Ling Na was not convinced, Zai Zai decided to go back to class to find the fund. On the way back to class, Lurang and Zai Zai asked why she didn't tell the truth. She said she didn't want Lurang to lose face, but he didn't think so. Lurang didn't want people to misunderstand Zai Zai. Without Zai Zai's explanation, Lurang always trusted her unconditionally. The news of the selective class losing the class fund had spread to Zai Zai's class. Everyone thought she was being bullied. She should have cried a little to make Ling Na the one at fault. But at this moment, Lurang passed by. He saw Zai Zai acting out the crying scene and thought it was real. Lurang felt that he was partly responsible. During class, everyone in the selective class thought that Zai Zai was the one who stole the class fund. When the note reached Lurang, he was very angry and threw it away. After school, Zai Zai asked Jia to go home together, but she had something urgent to do, so she couldn't go home with Zai Zai. This made Zai Zai very sad, especially when she saw Jia and her friends walking together. In the evening, Zai Zai went to the janitor's place and asked where the garbage collection site was. After Zai Zai was shown the place by the janitor, she started searching in the trash can. At this time, Zai Zai heard a familiar voice. She curiously went to the garbage collection site. Zai Zai saw her friends helping her find the class fund. This scene made her very emotional. The next day, everyone started looking for the class fund. Guran was upset when she saw Ling Na still sitting around. It was obvious that she was the one who lost the class fund. Not only that, Ling Na also argued with Guran. Lurang stood in front of her and asked, did she forget the class fund somewhere? Ling Na was angry when she was suspected, so she took out all the books. At this moment, Ling Na discovered something stuck in the book. This made her embarrassed. Unexpectedly, the thing stuck in the book was the class fund. The sound of people gossiping rang out. Ling Na still thought that Zai Zai was playing tricks to harm her, but Lurang did not think so. Ling Na immediately stood up and apologized to Lurang, but he did not need her to apologize to him. The person Ling Na needed to apologize to was Zai Zai. The news of Ling Na finding the class fund in the desk drawer had spread. Zai Zai angrily went to find Ling Na to talk. She needed a proper apology. A large number of students gathered to listen to the story. Zai Zai confidently stood in front of Ling Na, but she still showed an insincere apology, which made Zai Zai unhappy. Although Ling Na apologized, Zai Zai did not accept it. She thought that it was not a sincere apology. It was her resolute attitude that made her classmates admire her. Lurang smiled and watched Zai Zai leave. That afternoon, after everyone finished school, they went to Guan Fang's grandmother's dessert shop to play. She brought out a lot of delicious food for them. Zai Zai wondered who told Ling Na to look in the drawer, but everyone didn't remember. Lurang said that Guran and Guan Fang did it. While everyone was talking, Jia mentioned that Zai Zai was very good at pretending to cry. This made Lu Rang laugh. Zai Zai thought that he was angry with him, so while the two of them were going home, Zai Zai followed Lu Rang to apologize, but he didn't pay attention to her pretending to cry. Before Lu Rang entered the house, Zai Zai thanked him for helping her prove her innocence. The next day, the group had an appointment to go to the amusement park. While everyone was choosing clothes, Zai Zai deliberately chose couple clothes with Lu Rang. She had a great time with everyone, especially with Lu Rang. Zai Zai always filmed him. They also played the spinning wheel together. Zai Zai said that when the spinning wheel reached the highest point, their wishes would come true. But Lu Rang didn't have any wishes, so Zai Zai made a wish for him. Lu Rang laughed when she heard that. She was very happy to see him smile like that. After a long period of exams, the students finally got their results. Zai Zai was happy that Lu Rang's English score had improved significantly, but Lu Rang wasn't surprised. This made Zai Zai lose interest. Lu Rang pointed at Zai Zai's score. He said that she had improved a lot this time. This was the first time Zai Zai's math score was so high. After school, Zai Zai wanted to give Lu Rang a gift, but since it was her day to be on duty, she texted Lu Rang first. Because he wanted to wait for Zai Zai, he stood at the bus stop for a long time. When Zai Zai appeared, she happily gave Lu Rang a stuffed rabbit. She also said that it had another function. Lu Rang guessed that this rabbit had a recording function. When he saw Zai Zai's expression, he knew he had guessed correctly. After Lu Rang returned home, he smiled when he heard Zai Zai's voice in the rabbit. The next day, when everyone went to class, the teacher announced that the sports festival was coming up. Each student had to register for a subject. The selective class had to draw lots to choose the subject. Guran was unlucky enough to draw a weightlifting ticket. Guran was dissatisfied and complained to the teacher. The teacher said that he could switch with another student. Guan Fang volunteered to exchange tickets with Guran. But when Guran learned that Guan Fang's event was the 2,000-meter race, he changed his mind. That night, Zai Zai texted Lu Rang. She said she had signed up for the 1,000-meter race. She was also proud that she had always been the fastest when she was little. Early the next morning, Zai Zai was sent by her father to buy breakfast. Although she really wanted to sleep in, she still reluctantly went out. On the way, Zai Zai rode her bike through the park and saw Lu Rang walking her dog. Suddenly, the dog rushed over and caused Zai Zai to fall off her bike. Lu Rang quickly went to help her up. He carefully observed her wound. Then Lu Rang took Zai Zai to the hospital. On the way, she asked if his dog didn't like her. Zai Zai also said that because of the dog, she was injured, so Lu Rang had to be responsible for her. He agreed to her request. The doctor carefully applied medicine to Zai Zai. Then he told her not to move too much. As soon as Lu Rang bent down, Zai Zai said that she could walk by herself. While the two of them were outside waiting for the results, Guran's father passed by them. Lu Rang stood up and introduced Zai Zai to him. He was very happy that Guran had good friends. Just then Jia ran over. She was worried, thinking that Zai Zai was seriously injured, but luckily she was fine. While Zai Zai and Lu Rang went to get the scan results, Jia talked to Guran's father. When he saw Jia's expression, he guessed that her body had a problem. Guran's father advised Jia to eat well, and she suddenly asked him if he could cure her hair loss. At this moment, Guran walked over. He was surprised to see his father talking to Jia, because Guran didn't hear the first part of the conversation. He thought that Jia had a terminal illness. Guran hurriedly apologized to Jia because he had caused her a lot of trouble before. But before Jia could explain, Guran asked how long she had been sick, but Jia didn't answer, so Guran's misunderstanding grew even bigger. Zai Zai was surprised that everyone was present. Guran refused to believe Jia's words. He was about to ask Zai Zai but was pulled away by Jia. After a while, Lu Rang took Zai Zai back home. Although her legs were no longer in pain, she still pretended to be. Zai Zai also gave Lu Rang a bag of jelly, saying that she would eat it when she was unhappy. Lu Rang asked why she was unhappy. This made Zai Zai feel cared for. Lu Rang said that while she was recovering, he would come pick her up from school. After Lu Rang returned home, he retrained his pet. Early the next morning, Lu Rang was waiting in front of Zai Zai's house. Everyone in the class was surprised that he was with her. Everyone was curious about the relationship between the two. Because of her injured leg, Zai Zai could not participate in the sports festival, but she offered to be the class photographer. She happily took pictures of the food that Lu Rang prepared for her. Jia was surprised because Zai Zai's leg recovered so quickly. However, she still pretended to be in pain in front of Lu Rang. The day of the sports festival officially began. All the students happily participated. However, not everyone had a talent for sports. Therefore, many incidents happened. Zai Zai looked at her classmates and was discouraged. Suddenly, she saw a crowd cheering. It turned out to be a teacher's race. Because everyone wanted to please their superiors, they gave the invigilator the first prize. The tug of war was about to begin. Zai Zai happily cheered for her class president. However, However, she was seen by Lu Rang. He was a little jealous when he saw her cheering for another boy. This made Zai Zai feel guilty when he saw him. It was time for Lu Rang's competition to begin. Zai Zai ran to cheer for Lu Ran, but Lu Ran teased her for cheering for another boy. Zai Zai was happy that Lu Ran cared about her like that. In the end, Lu Ran won the silver medal. Zai Zai felt happy for him, but Lu Rang thought that first place was the most meaningful. Zai Zai said that getting the prize was already excellent. This made Lu Rang understand a few things. Lu Rang saw that Zai Zai liked her medal, so he gave it to her. Zai Zai suddenly stood looking at Lu Ran. At this moment, her classmate called Zai Zai to take a photo. She happily said goodbye to Lu Ran. Ling Na saw Zai Zai wearing Lu Rang's medal, so she asked why he gave it to Zai Zai, but Lu Rang only replied because she liked it. After school, Zai Zai wanted to return the medal to Lu Rang, because this was the first medal she saw him win. It had to be kept by him to have meaning. Zai Zai was embarrassed when Lu Rang asked if she liked him. Zai Zai tried to explain that she was still young, then she hurriedly left. That night, Zai Zai confided in Jia. Jia thought that Lu Rang created an opportunity for Zai Zai, and that there might be good news for her soon. Today, the teachers had a meeting. They thought that the scores between the classes were no longer different, because no gifted student had a higher English score than Zai Zai. So the supervisor said that the teachers could let the good students go to other classes to share learning experiences. They wanted to create pairs of friends who would improve together, and everyone was surprised by the example of Lu Rang and Zai Zai. From now on, the students with the highest scores in the two classes would go to other classes to exchange and study. Zai Zai was a little nervous standing in front of so many people. She was afraid that if she didn't speak well, she would affect Lu Rang. But in the end, Zai Zai got good results. Everyone happily came to ask her questions, which made Lu Rang a little jealous. He loudly called Zai Zai to go home together, but she thought that Lu Rang was afraid that people would ask him to tutor her, so he told her to go home early. At this moment, the classmates were gathered in front of the bulletin board. Jia said that the school's anniversary was coming up. The drama club would perform the play Cinderella. Since the male lead was Qian Yu, Jia only wanted Zai Zai to play Cinderella, so they decided to hold an election. Before the teacher arrived, Ling Na had already won everyone's hearts with candy, but Lu Rang's group refused. However, Zai Zai still could not underestimate his opponent. The voting was very tense. Zai Zai and Ling Na had the same number of votes. There was only one deciding vote left. Everyone was waiting anxiously for the result. The teacher announced that the winner was Zai Zai. This result made everyone happy. Only Ling Na was not satisfied. She asked Qian Yu to let her check the ballot again, but Ling Na was scolded by him and left. After a while, Zai Zai also wanted to see the ballot. What she was looking for was Lu Rang's ballot with black ink. When Zai Zai saw Lu Rang vote for her, she happily smiled. On the way, Lu Rang and Zai Zai returned home. She kept looking at him. She was happy that he voted for her, but Lu Rang said no. Zai Zai discovered that whenever Lu Rang felt embarrassed, he would put his hands behind his neck. Zai Zai happily thanked Lu Rang for voting for her, and that night Zai Zai texted Lu Rang. She said she wanted to practice her lines with him. Lu Rang made a condition that if Zai Zai got 90 points on the math test, he would consider the offer, but Zai Zai never thought that she would get 90 points in math. When the day of their tutoring appointment came, their usual coffee shop was closed. Lu Rang thought about skipping this class, but Zai Zai did not agree. In the end, he took her to his home to study. She was a little shy when she came to his house. Lu Rang took out the test book she had prepared. The time limit was 90 minutes. Zai Zai was a little worried but quickly finished the test. When the time was up, Zai Zai looked at the results anxiously. However, she only got 85 points. At this moment, Lu Rang's uncle returned. Zai Zai was scared when she realized that the person was Teacher Lin. He was her homeroom teacher. Teacher Lin saw Zai Zai's surprise and laughed. He didn't think she didn't know that he was Lu Rang's uncle. Just as Zai Zai was about to leave, Teacher Lin stopped her. He wanted Lu Rang to explain the sentences that Zai Zai got wrong. Then he let Lu Rang take her home. On the way, he took Zai Zai home. She was happy because she was the first person to know Lu Rang's secret. But it wasn't a secret. Zai Zai complained that she had no one to practice her lines with. Lu Rang laughed and said that Zai Zai's study attitude was very good recently, so Lu Rang would reward her with 10 extra points. Zai Zai was happy that he agreed to practice his lines with her. For the convenience of practice, the whole group gathered at Guan Fang's house. This was the first time Guan Fang had friends over to his house, so he felt a little shy. Everyone started to take out the script to read. When Lu Rang read his lines, he was criticized for acting like a machine. Everyone said that he needed to put more expression into his lines. They were all eagerly waiting for Lu Rang's performance. Zai Zai laughed out loud when he praised him. A while later, Guan Fang's grandmother returned. Although she called Guan Fang, he was wearing headphones. "Grandma, grandma thought her grandson was criticizing her, so she went over to teach him a lesson. Guan Fang's cry attracted everyone's attention. When grandma realized what was happening, she realized that those people were practicing a play. The group immediately performed the play for her. She was very happy that her nephew had such good friends. The next morning, Teacher Lin called Zai Zai to talk. This made Zai Zai feel scared. She didn't know what she had done. However, when she heard Teacher Lin talking about Lu Rang, Zai Zai felt happier. Teacher Lin thanked her for helping Lu Rang improve. After school, Jia wanted to ask Zai Zai to go home together, but today she was busy tutoring Lu Rang, so Jia was forced to go home alone. Suddenly, a girl called her. The girl pointed behind her skirt. Jia understood what the girl meant. She shyly called Guran to help. Guran told Zhang Jia to wait for her for a while, but Jia thought he was going to play basketball, so she walked home alone. At this time, Qian Yu passed by. Because he saw Jia walking alone, he offered to take her home. This made Jia very happy. Just as she was about to secretly take a photo of Qian Yu, he misunderstood her as wanting to take a photo of the sunset. So the two of them stopped the car for a while to enjoy the beautiful scenery. The school's anniversary had arrived. The drama club's performance was ranked 5th. Everyone was anxious about the play, when suddenly Zai Zai appeared with a beautiful appearance, completely attracting everyone's attention. Lu Ran looked at her attentively. The female lead of the play had already changed her clothes, but the male lead was nowhere to be seen. When Guran called Qian Yu, he received news that Qian Yu had an accident and was currently receiving first aid at the hospital. The club's performance was about to begin. Everyone looked at Lu Rang. He was the only one who knew the script because he had helped Zai Zai practice the play. Although Lu Rang wanted to refuse because everyone had high expectations of him, he had no choice but to agree. The drama club's performance finally began. In front of many people, Zai Zai appeared with a gorgeous appearance. The play also had the participation of Guan Fang's group. They played the villains today. Guran was in charge of filming the play below the stage. Everything went very smoothly. Lu Rang was very suitable for this prince role. He quietly followed Zai Zai's every line. It seemed like there were only 2 people left in the audience. Lu Rang smiled and walked towards Zai Zai. He held her soft hand. When the play ended, everyone applauded. Everyone was satisfied with play. After the show, Zai Zai asked Lu Rang if she was pretty or not. When Lu Rang rubbed her neck, Zai Zai smiled because he knew his answer. As soon as Zai Zai and Lu Rang were about to change clothes, Guan Fang took out his camera and took a picture of the two of them. That night, Guan Fang showed the play to his grandmother. She was very happy that her grandson was able to stand on stage to perform. The next day, many male friends came to ask to be friends with Zai Zai. This made Lu Rang a little jealous. On the way back, Zai Zai said many people asked to be her friend, but she refused them all. This made Lu Rang feel happy. He suddenly called Zai Zai's name, which made her heart flutter. Lu Rang said that she was just trying to call him. Zai Zai smiled when he saw how cute he was. Today was the weekend, so everyone had a day off. Jia went to visit Qian Yu with everyone. Guran saw that she was a little sad, so he said that Jia had prepared the gift basket. She was surprised that Guran would help her like that. Because Jia wanted to thank Guran, she offered to help him return the play items. When Guran was on his way to the meeting place, he was blocked by the bullies. They wanted to take revenge for the incident at the basketball court. Just as Guran was about to find a way out, they threatened him. Guran was about to fight when Jia arrived. She coldly walked in front of him. Then she threatened the bullies. They were also scared when they heard Jia say that. Just as the 2 bullies lost their guard, Jia grabbed Guran's hand and ran away. When the 2 escaped from the bullies, Guran laughed as he looked at Jia. He didn't expect her to be such a good actor. At the same time, downstairs at Lu Rang's house, Teacher Lin was blocked by 2 neighbors who wanted to ask about Lu Rang. They thought that Lu Rang was studying hard. At this moment, Zai Zai appeared. She loudly called out Lu Rang's name. This made Teacher Lin a little embarrassed with the neighbors. As soon as the 2 neighbors left, Teacher Lin told Lu Rang to be gallant with Zai Zai. After the 2 said goodbye to the teacher, Lu Rang and Zai Zai went to the aquarium. Here, she tried to show off her knowledge of fish, but unexpectedly, her words scared a little boy to cry. Lu Rang was helpless when he witnessed this. He then bent down to comfort the boy. However, when the boy stopped crying, Zai Zai made him cry even louder. Zai Zai didn't expect Lu Rang to be so good at coaxing children, but that was the situation. Zai Zai happily asked him if he could coax the 200-month-old child. Then she laughed and ran away first. Zai Zai took many beautiful photos with Lu Rang. They happily played in the aquarium. When Lu Rang was waiting for Zai Zai, the little boy from earlier came over and held his hand tightly. It turned out that the little boy had gotten lost from the teacher. Zai Zai wanted to tease the little boy, but she stopped in time. After the 2 of them brought the child back to the teacher gave Zai Zai a pair of hooks. She happily gave Lu Rang a hook. This was the first pair of items for the 2 of them. Zai Zai happily looked at the newly received gift. The next day, the students went to school again. There were rumors about the end of the world in the school recently. Everyone thought that the earth would be destroyed soon, and Zai and Guran's group of friends also believed in it. Only Lu Ran didn't care about it. He was still calmly reading his book. At this moment, the teacher appeared. The teacher announced that the excellent student exam was coming up, and the students would have to go to another province to participate. The teacher reminded everyone to prepare well for their studies. During the extra class, Lu Ran kept reminding Zai to focus, but she only thought about the end of the world. She asked Lu Rang what he regretted the most. Lu Rang said he regretted not coming here earlier. Zai laughed and said that she wished she had known Lu Rang before. This made him smile happily. The night before the exam, her parents had prepared a lot of things for Zai, but she wasn't worried about the exam. She was just looking forward to going with Lu Ran. Because Jia and Zai had talked all night, they overslept the next morning. They could only take the next bus. Meanwhile, Lu Rang's group had already boarded the train. Zai was disappointed that he missed the train with Lu Rang. After the bus arrived, Lu Rang and Guran waited for the two girls at the gate. Lu Rang also bought some snacks for them. He also carried Zai's suitcase. Because they were late, the four of them had to stay in different rooms. Zai was assigned to the same room as Xianing. She was a girl from another school. When Xianing found out that Zai studied at Zhangyi, she asked Zai if she knew Lu Rang. Xianing said that Lu Rang was very popular in middle school, so he must be coming here to compete this time. Zai was jealous that Xianing knew Lu Rang. Xianing also asked if Lu Rang liked anyone. Zai saw Xianing so excited and felt that the other person might be her love rival. Zai immediately texted Lu Rang. She asked if he knew Xianing. Lu Rang only replied that he did. This made Zai wonder what their relationship was. Because Lu Rang wanted to tease Zai, he said that he had an impression of Xianing. At this time, Xianing had just finished showering. She asked a little about Lu Rang. Then Xianing confidently said that the girls here all loved Lu Rang. Zai's concern for Lu Rang made Xianing laugh. The final exam was over. Zai was surprised that Lu Rang was waiting for her, but she thought that Jia's group had left first. This made the group unhappy. Just then, Lu Rang and Xianing's old teacher appeared. The teacher was very happy to see Lu Rang again. Since Xianing was a local, the teacher said that she should take her friends out to play. This made Zai a little unhappy. She was jealous that Lu Rang was close to another girl. Moreover, the two of them were laughing and talking to each other from beginning to end. Xianing led the group to a hill. From there, everyone could see the city view. Zai said that she couldn't go because her feet hurt a little. Because Zai didn't want everyone to miss out on the sightseeing, she told everyone to go first. Although Zai said so, she felt sad when everyone actually left. When Zai was bored, she suddenly saw the jelly box. It turned out that Lu Rang had come back to play with her. Zai was very happy that Lu Rang still remembered her hobby. Lu Rang suggested that the two of them could take the cable car to see the scenery. Together, they recorded the most beautiful footage. It would be a beautiful memory that the two of them would never forget. That night, Jia questioned Zai why she was allowed to take the cable car to play, while Jia had to climb the mountain until her legs were tired. When Zai returned to her room, she was surprised to see Lu Rang talking to Xianing. Just as Zai was about to leave, Lu Rang said that he was here to find her. Xianing knew what she meant and left first, but Lu Rang was still shy about entering Zai's room. He took out some thermal bags. This made Zai laugh. As soon as Lu Rang left, Zai wished him good night. This made Lu Rang smile. That night when Zai was packing, Xianing noticed Zai's keychain. She said that Lu Rang seemed to have one too. Xianing guessed that Zai liked Lu Rang. Zai shyly denied it. Xianing said that if Zai wanted to be Lu Rang's lover, she would have to work hard. Because Lu Rang was a very unapproachable person, but it seemed like Zai was the first person to get close to Lu Rang. Xianing encouraged her to try her best. This made Zai very happy. Today was the last day Lu Rang's group stayed here. Before everyone said goodbye to Xianing, they made an appointment to meet her at Zhangyi. Xianing hugged Zai. She advised Zai to take the initiative to flirt with Lu Rang. Then Xianing said goodbye to everyone. The group finally boarded the ship to prepare for the return trip. Jia asked everyone if they remembered what day it was today. Guan Fang only then noticed that today was the rumored Doomsday. The atmosphere became tense. Guan Fang cried and texted his grandmother, but she scolded him. Guran started to act up to add to the drama. Everyone looked at Jia's bewildered face and burst out laughing. When the train started rolling, everyone took a nap. Zai suddenly took out his phone and secretly took a picture of Lu Rang while she was sleeping. He discovered her action and smiled. The time now was 11:55, only 5 minutes left until the apocalypse. Zai took out out her camera. She wanted to record everyone's moment before the apocalypse. Guan Fang was excited to be the first to record. He was grateful to have gotten to know everyone. Then it was Guran and Jia. They both said that they really like this life. The last one was Lu Rong, but because he didn't know what to say, he gave the last minute to Zai Zai. She shyly handed the camera to Lu Rang. Zai Zai innocently said that she wished that the world would not end. The 10-second countdown began. As soon as the clock rang, Lu Rang put on the headphones for Zai Zai. This affectionate action moved her. The end of the world was over. Everyone was happy that nothing happened. Everyone was safe. And the next day, everyone returned to school. The teacher said that there would be no homework today because she wanted everyone to rest a little. Guan Fang excitedly invited everyone to play basketball. Suddenly, a classmate asked Guan Fang to help clean up. Guan Fang had an easygoing personality, so he agreed. On the way back, Guran told everyone about this, saying that because Guan Fang was too easygoing, he was often taken advantage of. Even Lu Rong had never seen Guan Fang angry. Zai Zai realized that this was not good at all. The next day, the group went to Guan Fang's restaurant. Just then, two thugs started a prank. They thought that her tea was spoiled. Grandma was angry because she had just cooked tea this morning. Guan Fang immediately took her inside. He then negotiated with the customer, but they insisted on compensation. They even threatened Guan Fang. Zai Zai saw Guan Fang bullying him and defended him, but the thugs warned Zai Zai not to make trouble. Lu Rong and Guran also protected the two. As soon as the situation became tense, Guan Fang stopped everyone. He took out money and gave it to the two thugs. Guan Fang even happily sent them off for a while. The two thugs didn't know that they had just messed with the wrong person. When they reached a secluded place, Guan Fang angrily told the two thugs to return the money. They were a little scared by his attitude. A thug rushed forward to hit Guan Fang, but he was easily defeated by Guan Fang. The thugs stood in fear and bowed their heads in front of him. They obediently returned the money to him. At this moment, Guran ran over. Guan Fang signaled them not to say anything. Guran was surprised that the thugs were so afraid of him. After Guran taught the thugs a lesson, he chased them away. At this moment, Lu Rong and the two girls also arrived. They were surprised that Guran could chase away the thugs. Guran was even more excited after being praised by everyone. He lied that the thugs were scared away by him. After Guan Fang returned home, he was called back by his grandmother to ask about it. She carefully observed Guan Fang's men and asked, "Did he go out to fight again?" Guan Fang said he didn't do it, but his grandmother understood him better than anyone else. The next day, when Guan Fang went to school, he was taken advantage of by his friend. Guran warned him to be strong. This scared the other friend. On the way back, Guan Fang was picked on by a group of thugs. They even called someone to beat up Guan Fang, but he just coldly walked past the thugs. The thug threatened that he would go to the tea shop and cause trouble. This made Guan Fang mad. He angrily beat them up. At this moment, Lu Rang's group passed by. They were surprised to see Guan Fang fighting with three people. Only now did they realize that he wasn't easy to bully. Guan Fang said with shame that he had also rebelled before. At that time, Guan Fang only knew how to use violence to prove his strength. At that time, no one dared to approach Guan Fang. Even the teacher considered him a bad student. But one day Guan Fang realized that every time he caused trouble, it was his grandmother who had to apologize to each house. She had repeatedly asked the teacher to give him another chance. Since then, Guan Fang had completely changed. He became a sensible child. He knew how to listen to his grandmother and study hard. Zai Zai felt that Guan Fang was very good because he knew how to correct his mistakes. In the evening, everyone said goodbye to Guan Fang and his grandmother and returned home. Today was the day of the exam. Everyone was worried. Finally, the exam was over. After that, the students had a holiday. Zai Zai sadly asked Lu Rong when he would return to Suyang. Lu Rong said that he would return there this weekend. Because he saw that Zai Zai was a little sad, he gave her a pair of gloves. Although Zai Zai was happy to receive the gift, she was still sad because she had to be away from Lu Rong for a month. He comforted her that he would diligently reply to the messages. At this time, the first snow of the season began to fall. Zai Zai happily watched the snowflakes flying in the sky. Then she looked at Lu Rong again and smiled happily. The next day, Zai Zai started her first vacation. Everyone in the family was busy preparing for the new year. Zai Zai happily took a photo and sent it to Lu Rong. She wondered what he was doing at this time, but Lu Rang was just sitting there doing homework. When Lu Rong returned home to Suyan, he felt very lonely because mom only cared about Lu Li. Thanks to Zai Zai's text messages, Lu Rong felt less lonely. He started to go out more. He enjoyed the fresh air with his pet. That night, Lu Li went into Lu Rong's room. He wanted to go to Zhang Yi to play with his brother, but Lu Rong replied that he didn't have time. This answer made Lu Li a little disappointed. At the same time, during the meal, Zai Zai's father wanted the family to go back to their hometown to celebrate their great great-grandmother's birthday. Although Zai initially disagreed, but when she heard that the whole family would go to Suyang, her attitude changed. Her parents were surprised to see her so excited. Zai immediately ran upstairs to call Lu Rang. She announced that she would go to Suyang to celebrate the new year this year. This made Lu Rang very happy. Early the next morning, Zai got in the car to go to Suyang. On the way, she happily texted Lu Rang to inform him. At Lu Rang's house, relatives came to visit, but everyone only cared about Lu Li. They completely ignored Lu Rang. Even his mother didn't care about him. Lu Rang was lonely in his own house, so he didn't want to talk to his younger brother. This made Lu Li a little sad. Zai arrived at Suyang after 8 hours of travel, but she didn't get to rest because her mother forced her to go shopping with her cousin. Although Zai didn't want to, she still obeyed her mother. The New Year's Day at the supermarket was like a war. Everyone tried to fight over each item. Very quickly, Zai was pushed away by the crowd. She tried to get as many items as possible, but she was still slower than others. While Zai was struggling with others, she was accidentally caught by Lu Rang. This made her very embarrassed. On the way back home, Zai tried to explain, but her cousin accused her of only knowing how to eat and being lazy to work. Lu Rang tried to hold back her laughter. He said that Zai had many good points, especially that she was very good at English. Her cousin was surprised when she heard that. After a while, they arrived at Zai's house. She wanted to invite Lu Rang to come in and play. On the way, she reminded him to be careful because there was the most dangerous intelligence force in the world. The news of Zai going with her son was quickly reported home. Zai's mother worriedly told her father to deal with the person who was with her. Her father seriously took a broom and went out. When her father saw Zai going with her boyfriend, he pointed the broom straight at Lu Rang's face. He suddenly introduced himself as Zai's classmate. She was embarrassed and said that he was her tutor and was very good. When the father learned of Lu Rang's identity, he immediately changed his attitude. Even Zai's mother happily welcomed Lu Rang. Everyone wondered why Zai was nowhere to be found. It turned out that she had changed into nice clothes to meet Lu Rang. Everyone tried to hold back their laughter when they saw her being so obsessed with boys. Zai's parents invited Lu Rang to stay for dinner. The mother asked if he was allergic to anything, but before Lu Rang could answer, Zai said he was allergic to shrimp. This surprised Lu Rang. He wondered why Zai knew that. It turned out that she had noticed when she went out to eat with Lu Rang, she saw that he couldn't eat fried shrimp. After everyone finished dinner, Zai sent Lu Rang home. He really liked the atmosphere in her family. It was very different from his family because Zai wanted to comfort Lu Rang. She saved his phone number in the favorites. Guran's family was similar to Lu Rang's family because Guran's parents were doctors, so they were always busy with work at the hospital. Only Guran was left alone at home. His only joy was Jia. Guran happily read her New Year's greetings. Then he called Jia to talk. Everyone found their own joy. The New Year was a very special occasion for everyone. When the New Year's Eve moment came, Zai happily wished Lu Rang a happy New Year. Today was the first day of the New Year. Early in the morning, Jia's family came to wish a doctor a happy New Year. Jia did not expect that person she met was Guran's father. When Guran just stepped out to open the door, he was very surprised to see Jia. While everyone was talking, his mother told Guran to lead Jia into the room to play. Guran reluctantly agreed with her mother. Jia was curious when she saw his photo. The person she cared about was Qian Yu behind. Just as Jia was about to turn on the computer to play, Guran immediately remembered that he was looking at her photo, so he quickly stopped her. Guran then quickly turned off the computer. Jia was annoyed by his sudden action. She suspected that he was secretly watching something unhealthy. A few days later, the new semester started. This was also the time when the flu epidemic broke out, so Guran's parents had to volunteer for a month. He was a little sad, but still encouraged his parents to go. He understood the noble meaning of volunteering, but Guran still felt lonely. He even secretly put cold medicine in his parents' suitcase. The next day when Guran went to class, he told Guan Fang that he would be alone for a month. Guran wanted to invite friends to come over to play, but they were all busy and couldn't come. That night, Guran lied to his parents that he was having fun playing with his friends. He didn't want his parents to worry about him. After a while, Guan Fang couldn't call Guran. Guan Fang's grandmother was afraid that something had happened to Guran, so she told him to go to the house to see how Guran was. Guan Fang listened to her and asked Jia for Guran's home address. However, Guan Fang asked Jia to check first. When Guran opened the door, Jia found out that he was sick. She immediately called Guan Fang to come quickly. Then Jia carefully took care of Guran. When Guran woke up, he smiled because he saw Jia there. He also felt better. Jia said that Guan Fang would be there soon. As soon as Jia stood up, she accidentally fell into Guran's arms. The two of them looked at each other awkwardly. A while while later, Guan Fang arrived. He packed up Guran's things. Then, Guan Fang forced his friend to go back to his house. He didn't want to visit Guran every day. After Guran heard about the food her grandmother prepared at home, he quickly agreed. However, Guan Fang's room was quite small. Jia didn't expect Guan Fang to treat Guran so well. At the same time, Guran heard her mother's phone call on the balcony. This was also the first time he confided in Jia about his family. Since he was little, Guran had always played hide and seek with her parents, but because they were busy with work, no one could find Guran. Jia gently comforted him. She had finally found Guran. This made him laugh. His heart once again fluttered for Jia. That night, his grandmother told Guran to take care of her health. When he thought of Jia, his face turned red. Guan Fang was surprised to see Guran's face turn red. His heartbeat also increased. The next day, Guan Fang asked Lu Rang for help because he couldn't take care of Guran alone, but Lu Rang only cared about Zai Zai's message. She was lying in the house depressed at the moment. Lu Rang texted her to open the door. When Zai Zai walked out, she was surprised that he had bought her cold medicine. A while later, Lu Rang also arrived at Guan Fang's house. Guran was the one who understood Lu Rang the best. Guran was sure that he wouldn't abandon his friends. In the end, Lu Rang was forced to stay. Guran was very happy to have friends to sleep with, so he hugged Guan Fang in Lu Rang's arms tightly. This made it difficult for Lu Rang to sleep. While the two of them were closing their eyes, Guan Fang pulled the blanket over them, but they looked at him with puzzled eyes. Guan Fang explained that he was afraid that the two of them would get sick, but Guran argued that he was very healthy. At this moment, Guran received a phone call. His parents called to ask about his health. Guran said that he was fine. He told his parents to take care of themselves first. At that moment, Lu Rang came over. He gave Guran his coat. The two of them were childhood friends, so Lu Rang also understood Guran's family. The next day, the school invited a psychologist. Although Guran did not want to participate, when he heard that Jia was holding a seat, he changed his attitude. During the talk, the expert recounted his memories of high school. He said that love often comes from unexpected moments. Just a gesture or a look, sometimes just a smile, can also make people unforgettable. The expert said that although it is not obvious, it is the most meaningful thing in school life. After the talk, everyone discussed what the expert said. Guran said that if he liked someone, he would tell everyone. Then Guran turned to ask Lu Rang, what type of person did he like in the end? Lu Rang looked at Zai Zai but didn't say anything. Guran saw that Jia didn't buy anything, so he agreed to treat everyone to snacks. This made Jia happy. On the way back to class, Guan Fang was surprised to see Guran unusually happy. Just then a girl passed by. Guran complimented her that her hair clip was very pretty. Jia also had one like that, but she wore that one more prettier. This surprised Guan Fang and Lu Rang. They didn't understand why Guran complimented Jia today. After everyone left school, Guran didn't see Jia, so she went back to look for him. It turned out that Jia was going to Qian Yu's class at this time. She secretly looked for his desk. Then she put the gift she prepared there. Just then Guran appeared, startling Jia. This made her angry. Guran laughed when she saw Jia sneaking around. When Guran saw the gift, he advised Jia to write the name on it, so Qian Yu would know who gave it to her. Guran also sarcastically said Jia was a coward. At that moment, two schoolgirls entered. Jia quickly pulled Guran to hide under the table. His heart beat faster when he saw her holding his hand. After the two female students left, Jia quickly put the gift in Qian Yu's desk drawer, but she accidentally dropped the stack of books on the table. Suddenly, Jia saw the certificate of achievement. It turned out that Qian Yu was preparing documents to study abroad. That night, Jia couldn't concentrate because the person she liked was about to leave. The next day, the teacher gave the drama club some sad news. Qian Yu was preparing to study abroad. He was only a week away. Qian Yu thanked everyone for accompanying the club. Zai Zai realized that was the reason why Jia was sad these past few days. On the way back, Jia made up her mind. She didn't want to regret anymore. That night, Jia wrote a love letter. She hurriedly gave it to Zai Zai to read. Zai Zai felt that her letter was very touching. At this moment, the class leader appeared to collect the exercise book. Because Zhang Jia was so worried, she handed in the exercise book and the letter. Until the class leader left, Jia realized that she had been careless. She and Zai Zai quickly ran to the teacher's room, but at that time there was someone inside. Zai Zai told them to wait until the teacher went to eat and then come back. During lunch break, Lu Rang went to the teacher's room to hand in the assignment. The person who came with him was Ling Na. She took Zai Zai's assignment and started to badmouth her, but Lu Rang stopped Ling Na. But Ling Na still wouldn't stop. She took Zai Zai's exercise book. Then she read aloud the love letter hidden in it. Because Lu Rang wanted to protect Zai Zai, he told Ling Na to go back to class. After a while, Zai Zai appeared. She asked Lu Rang if she saw her notebook. Lu Rang said it was in the first pile. Zai Zai worriedly asked if he had seen something, but Lu Rang just put his hand behind his neck and said he didn't see anything. During recess, Lu Rang saw Zai talking to a male classmate. He also saw that she was very happy. This made Lu Rang jealous. Zai tried to talk to Lu Rang, but he was indifferent to her. Today, the class had a physical education test. The teacher assigned Lu Rang to test the last 2 students. Zai was very happy to see Lu Rang because he would be the one to test her, but Lu Rang was strict in counting each movement. Every time she made a mistake, he didn't count it. Moreover, Zai happily waved to another male classmate. Even Jia noticed that Lu Rang was making things difficult for Zai. He was no longer as gentle as before. In the end, Zai barely passed the subject. That night, when Zai and Lu Rang went home, Zai asked Lu Rang if there was anything wrong, but An denied it. Zai guessed that Lu Rang might have misunderstood the love letter. She immediately explained that it was Jia's letter. After that explanation, Lu Rang was happier the next morning when Qian Yu went to the 10th grade. Jia was sad when she learned that Qian Yu would leave in just 2 weeks. He gave her a ticket to a concert. When Jia held the ticket in her hand, she was happy because she thought she was special. She happily showed off to her friends that she had her own ticket. But Jia didn't expect that Qian Yu had given out tickets to everyone. Jia carefully chose her outfit to go to the concert, and the next day she asked Guran to go shopping with her. The two of them went to a fashion store. Here Jia again chose to buy a pair of high heels because she was not used to wearing high heels. She tripped and fell many times. Guran looked at Jia like this and felt a little heartbroken. Today was the day of the concert. When Zhang Jia just appeared, she attracted Guran's attention. She confidently walked in front of everyone. Even Guan Fang was surprised to see Jia so graceful. The auditorium began to fill up. While everyone was waiting for Qian Yu to perform, Guran was curious about what Jia liked about him. Jia said she liked Qian Yu's serious appearance. She also added that he was very kind and good at studying. It was Qian Yu who drove her home when she was on her period, but Jia didn't know that. At that time, Guran had run to buy sanitary napkins for her, but when Guran returned, Jia had long since left. When Qian Yu's performance ended, everyone applauded in congratulations. While everyone was leaving, Guran held Jia's hand and went to find Qian Yu. He pushed Jia and walked in front of Qian Yu. Then, she bravely sent the letter to the person she liked. Qian Yu was a very delicate person, so he gently rejected Jia's feelings. Although Qian Yu didn't say it directly, Jia still understood what he meant. After Zhang Gain failed to confess, she sat down on the side of the road because her feet hurt. At this moment, Guran came over. He gave Jia a pair of ordinary slippers. Then he sat next to her and confided that Jia did not need to change for others because there would be someone who would love all her flaws. When Jia heard Guran's encouragement, she felt happier, and the two of them returned home together. The next day was the day Qian Yu went to study abroad, and the group arranged a time to meet him. Qian Yu asked where Jia was. At this moment, Jia ran over. She gave him the 1000th star, which symbolized good luck. Qian Yu smiled and thanked Jia, and after receiving the gift, he looked at Guran. He knew that Guran had feelings for Jia. She just didn't realize it yet. After Qian Yu sent his greetings to everyone, he turned around and left. There was not much time left, so the group had to return to school on time. After waiting for the results, the students had their final exam scores. This time, the English test was very difficult, but Lu Rang got 95 points. Zai excitedly praised Lu Rang for his improvement. Guan Fang said that there was someone who got 137 points in English, which was also the highest score in the school, and that person was Zai. She heard and smiled shyly. After the exam, Lu Rang's group decided to go out. Lu Rang asked his mother's permission to go out with his friends, but his mother only cared about his studies. She said that Lu Li had never scored less than 130 points in an exam. Then her mother severely criticized Lu Rang. In her anger, his grandmother picked up shrimp for him. Although teacher Lin defended Lu Rang, he was still scolded by his mother. Lu Rang said that since he came to Jian, his academic performance has always improved. He also mentioned that he was allergic to shrimp. This made his mother startled and feel guilty. Early the next morning, the group of friends were waiting downstairs for Lu Rang. Everyone was looking forward to the upcoming trip. When they arrived at the beautiful coastal city, the group had many happy memories together. They realized that hanging out with friends was really fun. Suddenly, Jia discovered that she had lost her wallet. Inside was all the money the group had spent on the trip. Jia was panicking, not knowing where she had dropped her wallet. The group comforted her and went to look for it together. Because Jia couldn't find her wallet, she felt sorry for everyone. Guran comforted her not to be sad anymore because human memory is limited, so Jia should use it to remember the good memories. Finally, Jia's mood improved. At this moment, Zai discovered a flyer recruiting collaborators. The group agreed to sign up to earn money. Guran and Jia were assigned to hand out flyers. Lu Rang's group was in charge charge of the backstage. At this moment, a girl in the organizing committee asked Zai to go back and get the bag, but Zai got lost inside. She tried to find her way out, but the more she walked, the more lost she became. Outside, Luran worriedly called Zai, but he couldn't contact her. It turned out that Zai's phone had run out of battery. She started to panic. Suddenly the lights flashed. Zai was scared and ran away. Luckily, she found Luran. Zai burst into tears and hugged him. It turned out that the sound she heard was the ringing of a phone that someone had left behind. Lurang laughed when she saw how cute Zai was. Meanwhile, Jia and Guran were actively distributing flyers. However, their work was not going well. Because no one wanted to receive flyers, Guran came up with a way to complete the work. He and Jia lay down on the street and handed out flyers. Unexpectedly, everyone liked this way of distributing flyers, and soon all the flyers were distributed. After finishing the work, the manager paid the group, but the amount was 30 yuan short. The manager said that someone had complained about Guran's way of doing things, so the group's money was deducted. Now they had money, but didn't know where to go. Finally, the group decided to buy tickets to the music festival. The manager said that the money was only enough to buy 4 tickets. After Zai and Jia pleaded, the manager agreed to give away 1 more ticket. That night, when Lurang stood on the balcony, he was happy to see Zai. She invited him to come down and eat ice cream with her. At this time, Lurang said that she had a younger brother. Zai asked if they looked alike. Lurang proudly said that her younger brother was good at everything, and he was more handsome than Lurang. But Zai did not believe what he said. She was sure that Lurang must be more handsome than Lu Li. Then Zai took out the coin this morning. She happily gave it to Lurang. If both Lurang and Lu Li got 100 points on the test, then 1 special point Zai would always give to Lurang. Her words were like encouragement to him. At the same time, the group of friends were happily playing in Guran's room. At that moment, Qian Yu texted. He also revealed that he had a girlfriend. This made Jia unhappy. She sadly went out to the balcony to get some fresh air. Zai saw that her friend was upset, so she went to comfort her. Today was the day of the music festival. The festival had a lot of people attending since early morning. While Zai was cheering, her hand accidentally touched Lurang's hand. This made the 2 people shyly look at each other, then they smiled brightly. The group had a relaxing moment with the music. At the end of the program, the organizers also had a performance. The organizers chose the luckiest person to go on stage. Unexpectedly, the chosen person was Lurang. Zai cheered him on to sing. Lurang saw her looking forward to it and had to agree. When Lurang stood on stage, he confidently performed a song about school age. The crowd below started to dance to the lyrics. In Zai's eyes at this time, there was only Lurang. He was her first love. After that, the group went to the beach to play. This was the summer that many students dreamed of. Everyone sat together to confide. Everyone had their own impression of their summer. For Lurang, it was the banana ice cream that could be broken in half. And today is the most beautiful summer. Sometime later, the new school year begins. The students in the school begin to divide into classes again. Zai and Jia are in the same class again. At this moment, a boy wearing a hat walks into the classroom. Jia waits to see who it is. It turned out that the person was Guan Fang. He decided to switch to the social studies department because he felt more suitable. At this moment, Teacher Lin walked in. This year, he was still the homeroom teacher of the class. During recess, Lurang and Guran went to Zai's class to play, but Guan Fang thought they missed him, so he came. Zai smiled when Lurang prepared math formulas for her. Guran asked Jia to go somewhere, but she refused. At this time, Guran said that Qian Yu sent a gift, so Jia agreed to go with him. The last package was sent to Guan Fang's tea shop. Guran opened the gifts that Qian Yu sent to everyone. Everyone received gifts, except Jia, who did not have a gift. This made her very disappointed. Guran thought that Qian Yu might split the order into 2. Thanks to these words of comfort, Jia was happy again. That night, when Guran just got home, he texted Qian Yu to ask if he forgot Jia's gift. Qian Yu said that he didn't know what gift to choose for her, so he asked Guran to buy one for her. Guran was in a difficult situation. He didn't want Jia to be sad when she found out truth. The next day, Guran went to the souvenir shop. He chose a very beautiful watch as a gift for Jia. He couldn't tell her the truth. Jia was very happy when she received the gift. Today was the weekend. Guan Fang and Jia went to Guran's house early in the morning to play. Guran asked why the 2 of them came at this hour. Guan Fang said that they were worried that Guran was sick, but Guran knew that the library was full, so they came to find him. Jia asked Guran if she had any snacks. He told her to go to her room and get them. The snack bag accidentally fell on the computer. Jia was surprised when he read Qian Yu's message. She knew the truth. Guran felt worried because he saw Jia staring at her. She went up to ask Guran if he was hiding anything from her. Guran wanted to say that he liked Jia, but he quickly corrected himself by saying that he had secretly eaten her food. Guan Fang was also considered an accomplice. Jia angrily picked up a pillow and hit the two of them. That night, when Jia looked at the watch that Guran gave her, she felt very happy. Meanwhile, the relationship between Zai and Lu Rong also developed well. Suddenly, the lights in the classroom went out. Zai screamed in fear. Lu Rang said that it seemed like it was just a circuit breaker tripping. Then he took out a few candles to light up the room. In the dim space, Zai could not concentrate on doing his homework. The next day, when Zai arrived at class, she heard the bad news. The teachers were banning love affairs in school these days. Just like Guan Fang had heard, any relationship between a man and a woman that exceeded the permitted limits would be banned. Anyone who violates will be severely punished. However, Lu Rong doesn't care about that. Every night he tutors Zai. By chance, Lingna passes by. She saw Lu Rong and Zai sitting together, so she felt jealous. Lingna took a photo and spread the news throughout the school. The next day, when Zai went to school, teacher Lin called her to the teacher's office. At this time, Lu Rong was also there. Zai had a bad feeling. The supervisor asked if the two of them had become closer recently. Lu Rong frankly admitted it. Zai explained that she and Lu Rong weren't in love, but the supervisor showed the photo of the two of them last night. Teacher Lin wanted to protect his students, so he spoke up for the two of them. The supervisor knew that they were going to take an important exam soon, so he changed his attitude. Lu Rong confidently said that he didn't need to prepare to win first place. Zai laughed and said that she did too. Then she asked if everyone called her here to accuse her, but the teacher told Zai to go back to class. After school, Lingna passed by Zai. She warned Zai not to stick to Lu Rong anymore. Only then did Zai realize that Lingna was the one who reported the teacher. Zai asked why she was so stupid. C tried to ask if Lingna had feelings for Lu Rong, so she wanted to harm Zai, right? Lingna could only keep silent in the face of the accurate accusations. Zai warned that she would tell Lu Rong. Just as Lingna was about to cry, Zai told her to cry. After crying, Lingna should live a good life. Then Zai coldly turned around and left. When Lingna went out the stairs, Lu Rong was already there. He warned Lingna never to do such a thing again. The next day, Lu Rong's mother came to the school. She was angry that her son had a close relationship with his girlfriend, but Lu Rong did not want to explain. This time she came to transfer Lu Rong to another school. He was upset and objected, but he could not argue with his mother. That night, Teacher Lin confided in Lu Rong. He tried to ask Teacher Lin for help, but Lu Rong's household registration is in Suyang, so he had to move back there to take the university entrance exam. Lu Rong didn't know how to tell Zai about this, because she always wanted to see him. Lu Rong's attitude made Zai curious. Why was he so sad? But Lu Rong could only keep silent. Now the school had spread rumors that Lu Rong was being followed by a girl, which made Zai a little sad. On the way home, Zai wanted to help Lu Rong pick up things, but he coldly refused. Zai tried to talk to Lu Rong, but he told her to be quiet. Zai was deeply hurt by these words. She sadly said goodbye to Lu Rong and returned home. He was no longer the same as before. The relationship between the two gradually became distant. Zai always tried to avoid Lu Rong. Even though they were on the same bus, the two of them were no longer sitting next to each other. Guran's group already knew that Lu Rong was about to transfer schools. Only Zai still didn't know the real reason. Jia thought that she needed to comfort Zai. So on the way home, Jia asked if Zai had been sad these past few days because of Lu Rong's matter. She was surprised that Jia knew about it. Jia also said that if Zai missed Lu Rong so much, she could call because Suyan wasn't far away. Zai was confused because she didn't understand what Jia was trying to say. Jia was surprised that Zai didn't know that Lu Rong was about to transfer schools. Zai felt disappointed. Why did everyone know that Lu Rong was transferring schools? But only she didn't know about this because Zai wanted to know everything, so she went to Lu Rong's house to wait for him. When Lu Rong walked back, he was surprised to see Zai sitting in front of the alley. Lu Rong asked why she was sad. Zai asked him if he was about to transfer schools. On the way here, she had tried to run away many times, but in the end, Zai was determined to stay, because if she didn't ask, she would regret it for the rest of her life. Zai thought that Lu Rong found her annoying, so she limited her contact with him. But Lu Rong didn't tell her about the transfer, so Zai felt that she was not important. Lu Rong apologized to her, but before he could explain, Zai ran away. The next day, when the club meeting took place, Zai did not sit next to Lu Rong as usual. She felt that being near him became inconvenient. After the meeting ended, Zai also left first. Everyone was surprised by that. Jia explained that Zai had a cleaning schedule today, so Lu Rong came to help her. However, Zai did not want to accept this help. After school, Guan Fang asked Lu Rong what he had done to make Zai hate him so much. At this moment, Jia Jia discovered that there was a handsome male student standing outside the door waiting for Zai Zai. Recently, there were rumors that boys from other schools often came here to tease the female students. Jia's words made Lu Rang uneasy. He immediately ran out to find Zai Zai. At the same time, Zai Zai was sitting with a strange boy. That person was her younger brother. Zai Zai asked him why he transferred schools. The younger brother said that in the next class there was a girl who kept clinging to him. So before the younger brother transferred schools, he only told his close friends. This made Zai Zai uncomfortable. She fought over food with her younger brother and refused to feed him anymore. At this moment, Lu Rang passed by. He saw the two of them being so close and was jealous. He immediately called Zai Zai's name and ran to stop them. The younger brother said that Zai Zai was the one who hit him first. Lu Rang asked her what was wrong. However, Zai Zai did not want to talk to him. Then Zai Zai pulled his younger brother away. On the way back, the younger brother curiously asked who the other person was. He had received news that Lu Rang liked Zai Zai. That night, Zai Zai wanted to text Lu Rang and ask, but reason prevented her from doing so. The next day, the identity of the younger brother who was with Zai Zai was also revealed. He was her cousin who was about to transfer here. When Lu Rang heard about this, he smiled with satisfaction. After Lu Rang finished school, he ran to the familiar bus. Although he deliberately sat next to Zai Zai, the two of them did not talk to each other. After Zai Zai got out of the car, Lu Rang called her name. He apologized for making her angry, but Zai Zai said that if Lu Rang felt annoyed, he could say it directly. Lu Rang explained that he had never felt annoyed. As for the reason why he didn't tell her that he was transferring schools, it was because he didn't know how to say it. Moreover, Lu Rang still kept it a secret and didn't tell anyone. That made Zai Zai feel a little comforted. Lu Rang just wanted to tell Zai Zai first because she was a very special person to him. On the way back, Zai Zai asked when he would return to Suyang. Lu Rang said that he would transfer next term, so there were only a few months left before the two of them would be apart. Lu Rang asked Zai Zai if she was still angry with him. Zai Zai said that she had been angry with him for many days, so her body became tired. Now Zai Zai gave Lu Rang two choices, that is to coax her or lose her. Lu Rang was silent and thought for a long time, making Zai Zai uncomfortable. If he didn't choose, she would be angry forever. Lu Rang asked Zai Zai how he wanted to be coaxed. She said that he just needed to make cute expressions and voices. Although Lu Rang was a little embarrassed, he still followed suit. The relationship between the two people took a new step forward. The school would soon hold a student competition, so Lu Rang had a few days off. After Lu Rang got home from school, he heard his mother talking to his younger brother. It turned out that Lu Li would be participating in the student competition at Lu Rang's school. Teacher Lin asked Lu Rang if he could stay with his younger brother, but before he could answer, his parents forced Lu Rang to do as they pleased. They also said that Lu Li would tutor him. This made Lu Rang uncomfortable. The next day, when the students were having a break, the female students went out to look at handsome men. Zai Zai asked in surprise what was going on. Jia said that there was a genius coming to take the exam this time. Especially that person was extremely handsome. When Zai Zai looked at the photo of that genius, she saw that he looked a bit like Lu Rang. Then the group waited for Lu Rang and Guran to finish school. At this moment, Lu Li called out, wanting Lu Rang to go home with him. But Lu Rang said that his mother came to pick up Lu Li. After Lu Rang said a few words, he left with his friends, making Lu Li disappointed. Zai Zai remembered what Lu Rang had told about Lu Li. Although Lu Rang loved his younger brother very much, he did not show it. Because Zai Zai wanted to comfort Lu Rang, she invited him to listen to music with her. Everyone knew that Lu Li was Lu Rang's younger brother. Friends even teased Lu Rang that he was tutored by his younger brother. This made him very self-conscious. When Zai Zai heard others bad-mouthing Lu Rang, she stood up for him. Later, she even found a way to make him happier. From afar, Lu Li was surprised to see her brother happily laughing and joking with his friends. This is in contrast to Lu Rang's attitude at home. Even if Lu Li asked his brother to go out, Lu Rang refused because he had to do homework. During the break, Lu Li asked his brother to play games with him. At first, Lu Rang refused, but when he saw that his brother was sad, he agreed. That made Lu Li very happy. The two brothers quickly became closer. At this time, their parents returned. When the mother saw the two brothers sitting around, she scolded Lu Rang for inviting her younger brother to play games, but Lu Rang just silently endured. Lu Li stood up and said that he was the one who invited his brother to play games. He didn't want his parents to behave like that anymore. Then Lu Li angrily went into his room. That night, when Lu Rang was studying, Lu Li sneaked out of the house. When Lu Rang discovered it, it was too late. The whole family panicked and went to look for Lu Li. The mother thought that it was all Lu Rang's fault. The whole family immediately went out to look for Lu Li. At the same time, Zai Zai was shopping at the convenience store. She was surprised to see Lu Rang in a hurry. After knowing the reason why Zai Zai offered to help him, Zai Zai searched for a while and finally found Lu Li. She approached and introduced herself as Lu Rang's friend. Lu Li asked if she was the the one who gave the teddy bear to her brother. Zai Zai was embarrassed when he found out. Lu Li said that she loved her brother very much. Since childhood, Lu Ran had taken care of him and pampered him. However, favoritism started from the smallest things. His parents only cared about Lu Li's achievements. He also unintentionally hurt Lu Ran's self-esteem. Only later did Lu Li realize those things. But he couldn't change anything. No one cared about Lu Li and Lu Rong's feelings. What Lu Li wanted most was to be like when he was young, to play with his brother. Zai Zai told him a secret, that she had tried very hard. Then Lu Rang agreed to be friends with her. Hearing that, Lu Li felt empowered. A moment later, Zai Zai saw Lu Rang. When Lu Li looked at his brother's tired appearance, he felt guilty. Lu Li apologized to him for everything, but Lu Rang just gently told them to go home. After everyone returned home, Zai Zai texted Lu Rang. She felt that she and Lu Li had a lot in common. Thanks to Zai Zai, the relationship between the two siblings returned to normal. Lu Rang looked at her younger brother and pulled the blanket over him. This made Lu Li smile. Today was the day of the excellent student exam. While Lu Rang was cleaning the room, he discovered that his younger brother had forgotten the exam card. Without it, Lu Li could not take the exam. Lu Rang quickly took a taxi to school. Because of the traffic jam, he got out of the car and jogged. Luckily, he arrived in time before the exam. After the exam ended, Lu Li returned to Suyang. Zai Zai regretted that he had returned too early. She had originally planned to invite him to hang out together. After Lu Li returned, he and Zai Zai often wrote letters to each other. She was glad that things were getting better. Although Zai Zai's birthday was coming up, she couldn't be happy because after her birthday ended, it was also the time for Lu Ran to return to Suyang. But Jia thought that she should have a big birthday party. Today was a day off, so Guran and Jia's group went to buy a birthday present for Zai Zai. Guran noticed that Jia really liked a bracelet, but she didn't dare to buy it because it was too expensive, so Guran secretly went back to buy that bracelet. That night, he asked Jia out. He said that the bracelet was on sale at the store, but if Jia didn't like it, then forget it. She liked it as soon as she saw it, but Jia saw Guran's expectant eyes. She asked Guran if she liked her. Guran suddenly coughed a few times in surprise. He said, how could he like Jia? The next day after class ended, Teacher Lin called Zai Zai to the teacher's office to talk. Teacher Lin wanted to ask her to help her grade the 10th grade test. Although Zai Zai was busy, she still agreed to stay and help. When Zai Zai finished grading the test, it was already dark. She thought that everyone had gone home. On Zai Zai's way home, she was surprised to see her friends preparing a surprise performance. Zai Zai followed the directions to the marked spot. At this time, everyone was standing in line and singing happy birthday to her. Zai Zai was touched that everyone still took time for her. It turned out that from the beginning, everyone asked Teacher Lin to keep Zai Zai to create a surprise. Guran gave the birthday cake to Lu Ran. Then Guran told him to give it to Zai Zai to make a wish. She happily stated her wish. Zai Zai wanted everyone to always be happy like today, and she will keep the second wish a secret. When Zai Zai returned home, Lu Ran called to ask if she was free because he had something to see her. Zai Zai happily ran downstairs. Lu Rang saw her and was a little nervous because he came here to give her a gift. When Zai Zai saw Lu Ran's gift, she felt very happy. Zai Zai asked if he could promise her one thing. When her aunt used up all the film in this camera, could Lu Ran come back to film? He agreed to Zai Zai's wish. The day Lu Ran left was coming soon. He said that he would come back to visit everyone often. Before Lu Ran left, he and his friends went to take ID photos together. Because the computer had a problem, the owner of the shop needed to wait for the repairman to come. Guran was knowledgeable about computers, so he helped the shop owner fix it. After Guran disassembled the components, he finally fixed the computer. Everyone admired Guran for being so good. Thanks to Guran, the group was taken first. One by one, they went up to take their ID photos. After the photo shoot ended, Guan Fang asked the photographer to take a group photo for them. On the way home, Lu Rang and Zai Zai made an appointment with her to take the entrance exam to Huadai University. This made Zai Zai very happy. The first snow of the season also began to fall. Zai Zai gave Lu Rang his ID photo. The two of them had a promise for the future. Lu Rang laughed when she saw how cute Zai Zai was. Ever since Lu Rang moved away, Zai Zai was no longer as cheerful as before. Whenever she had free time, she would write to ask about Lu Rang. Lu Rang's new environment was very good. He worked hard to improve his academic performance. Lu Rang always remembers her old friends. Time passes and summer has come. Lu Rang stood alone on the beach. This was a place where everyone has a lot of memories. Lu Rang and her friends were finally in 12th grade. This year, everyone was busy studying. Zai Zai was no exception. She was also studying hard for the university entrance exam. Today, the teacher gave out application forms to everyone. Zai Zai excitedly filled in the name of Huada School. That was her and Lu Rang's dream school. Everyone had their own dreams. Only Jia still didn't know which school to choose. Because the time for the exam was getting shorter and shorter, everyone had their own pressures. Guran saw Jia sitting alone on the soccer field, so he went to comfort her. Thanks to Guran's words of encouragement, Jia also found a direction for herself. That night when Jia finished school, she was scared when she saw a man in black appear. He said that his son left the exam papers here. Because Jia felt suspicious, she reported this to the security guard. There have been many thefts in the school recently. The security guard sent someone to check and told Jia to leave first. When she walked out of the school gate, Guran was waiting outside. After listening to Jia's story, Guran felt that she was very brave. That was also one of Jia's many advantages. She was surprised when Guran said such words. That night, Jia decided on her future. What she wanted to do was to become a reporter. The next day, teacher Lin called Zai Zai to the counseling room. Her goal was Huada School. She wanted to study in the same school as Lu Rong. Although English is Zai Zai's strength, she needs to improve her math. Then Zai Zai will definitely pass Huada. To give Zai Zai more options, teacher Lin gave her a list of key English schools. Today is also the day of the direct admission interview of the schools. Zai Zai met a female student from the same school as Lu Rong. She curiously asked how Lu Rong was at the new school. The female student said that Lu Rong was very popular at the new school, especially that he was very cold. Many female friends wanted to ask for Lu Rong's number, but they were all rejected. Zai Zai accidentally dropped her phone. There was a photo of her and Lu Rong on the phone. After Zai Zai finished the interview, she conveniently went to Lu Rong's school. She was excited when she saw his report card. Then Zai Zai asked the security guard to take a few photos for her. After a while, Lu Rong also ran over. It turned out that Guran had told her that she was here. Zai Zai laughed and said that she and her friends missed Lu Rong very much. He then took her on a tour around the school. Zai Zai felt very proud because Lu Rong was loved by many people here. At this time, Zai Zai said that whether they could get into the same school or not, she still wanted the two of them to continue pursuing their dreams. Lu Rong smiled and agreed with Zai Zai. No matter what the result was, they still had to continue trying. The next day at school, teacher Lin announced the good news to the whole class. 2 students were directly admitted to universities, and Zai Zai passed the interview. When teacher Lin saw that the whole class looked tired, teacher Lin encouraged the students that it was too early for them to give up now. Teacher Lin wanted the students to find their own way so that when they look back on this important summer, they would feel proud of having tried their best. From then on, everyone in the class worked hard to study, and with only a few days left until the important exam, Lu Rong threw a coin to wish everyone good luck. He hoped that Zai Zai's efforts would be rewarded. Today was the day of the college entrance exam. The first subject was mathematics. Everyone focused on completing their exam well. After 2 days, the exam finally ended. The bell rang, signaling the end of the exam. The students had finished their school life. Today was the day of the summary and yearbook photo shoot. Because Guran wanted to take a photo with Jia, he took a photo with his classmates. Zai Zai was a little sad and called Lu Rong. She said that all of them had graduated and she didn't want to leave this school. Suddenly, Lu Rong's voice came from behind. It turned out that he had secretly returned here. Lu Rong also wanted to participate in the coming-of-age ceremony with his classmates. After everyone finished taking photos, the group went to Guan Fang's tea shop. At this moment, the neighbors said that grandma was in the hospital. Guan Fang was worried and rushed to the hospital. Guran's mother was the doctor who treated grandma. Grandma needed surgery now. Guan Fang trembled as he signed the consent form for grandma's surgery. Although he tried to act strong, he was very worried about grandma's health. After a few hours of waiting, the surgery was finally successful. Guan Fang took the opportunity to stay in the hospital to take care of grandma. His friends also visited and encouraged Guan Fang frequently. Grandma finally woke up. Grandma felt sorry that she couldn't attend Guan Fang's coming-of-age ceremony, but for him, grandma's health was the most important. After this incident, Guan Fang thanked everyone for always helping him. That night, on the way home with Zai Zai, Lu Rong asked her to go out together. This was the first time he had taken the initiative like this. That evening, Zai Zai sought Jia for advice. She asked if she should confess to Lu Rong tomorrow. Jia saw her friend looking forward to it and asked, why is Zai Zai so sure that she likes Lu Rong? She said that it's because she knows who's most important. If Lu Rong is happy, she'll be happy too. But if he's not by Zai Zai's side, then she feels like a year is a century. Jia doesn't understand these feelings at all. Before, when she liked Qian Yu, she only felt fond of him. Zai Zai said that there are people who don't recognize the person they like. However, feelings can't deceive people. Zai Zai looked at Jia's expression and asked if she was thinking of someone, but Jia quickly denied it. That night, Jia made a plan to confess to her friend. The next night, their plan began. At this time, Zai Zai was a little worried. When Lu Rong had just arrived, she smiled happily at him, but when Lu Rong saw Zai Zai's strange attitude, he told her to be normal. Zai Zai still followed Ji's plan. She intentionally bumped into a passerby and fell into Lu Rong's arms, but the script was wrong because the person who supported her was another girl. Zai Zai blushed in embarrassment. moment, and Lu Rang tried to hold back her laughter. But Zai Zai still persisted in following the plan. She listened to Jia, so she deliberately signaled to Lu Rang. He asked her what was wrong, and she sighed like that. Zai Zai replied that her parents told her to get married before she turned 30, so now she needed to find a boyfriend quickly. Lu Rang laughed silently. Zai Zai continued to flirt with him. She said that their zodiac signs were very compatible. Jia sat opposite and saw that there was a problem with the plan, so she arranged for Zai Zai to have a supporter. Zai Zai followed the instructions and asked Lu Rang to go see a fortune teller. The fortune teller immediately got into character when he saw the two of them. Zai Zai happily picked a random card. When the fortune teller turned the card over, he shouted loudly that Zai Zai was a very lucky person. The people around her will also have good luck, especially her future boyfriend. The fortune teller told Lu Rang to pick a card. Lu Rang smiled and flipped a card. Based on Zai Zai's face, the fortune teller described Lu Rang's future lover. Suddenly, he asked if the fortune teller could know her name. Lu Rang held back her laughter when she saw Zai Zai and the fortune teller acting too openly. Jia was disappointed that she had failed to complete the task. She thought of letting things take their natural course. At this moment, Jia caught Guran walking with a girl. Guran explained that this was the child of his parents' colleague. Because their parents were having dinner together, Guran had to take her out. It seemed that the girl had feelings for him, but Guran already had someone she liked. Guran looked straight into Jia's eyes and said that the person he liked was her. Although Jia was not the most outstanding person, she was the girl who made Guran's heart flutter. As long as Jia smiled, Guran would be happy all day. Then Guran held Jia's hand and left. When the two of them were far away from the girl, Guran shyly let go of Jia's hand. Jia asked if he wasn't going to pay her. Guran asked what she wanted to do. At this time, Jia looked over at the fortune teller's booth. Because she wanted to thank the fortune teller for helping Zai Zai, she wanted Guran to go over there and support him. When the fortune teller read Guran's cards, he said that the two of them had a good relationship. Jia thought that the fortune teller was trying to trick her, but this time, the fortune teller didn't trick her. While Guran and Jia were arguing, he accidentally said that he liked her. This made Jia shyly leave. At this time, Jia went to play with some friends. Behind, Guran heard her conversation. He was a little sad when Jia said that she didn't want to love her best friend because it would be awkward if they broke up. At the same time, Zai Zai and Lu Rang were walking. They sat down and played word games together. Zai Zai said a sentence. Lu Rang responded with a sentence. Zai Zai laughed when he saw how easy it was for Lu Rang to understand. Suddenly, he said that he liked her. Zai Zai turned to look at him in confusion. Only then did Lu Rang explain. He had always felt nervous when confessing his feelings to her. Zai Zai didn't understand what he was saying. Lu Rang repeated that he liked her. Fireworks began to light up the night sky. Lu Rang finally expressed her feelings. On the way home, Zai Zai felt a little embarrassed. Lu Rang wondered why she usually talked a lot, but today she was so quiet. Their hands touched lightly. Lu Rang mustered up the courage to hold Zai Zai's hand. After Zai Zai returned home, she shouted happily. She and Lu Rang were finally dating. Not only was Zai Zai excited, but Lu Rang also felt the same. Teacher Lin asked if he had anything good to say. Lu Rang just smiled and went back to his room. Today was the day the university results were announced. Zai Zai was happy to have such a high score for the first time. She finally got into the same school as Lu Rang. Suddenly, a message from Lu Rang came. He said that he was downstairs at Zai Zai's house. When she saw Lu Rang looking a little sad, she thought that he did not do well on the exam. But Lu Rang said that he had passed. Zai Zai happily hugged him tightly. Now they would enjoy the most beautiful summer of their lives. Lu Rang asked Zai Zai to go watch the sunrise together. She thought that it would be a date just for the two of them. But unexpectedly, Guran and her friends also came along. Zai Zai was surprised to see Guran appear here. Lu Rang explained that when he was packing his luggage, Guran came, so Lu Rang's plan to go out was exposed. On top of that, Guran also asked Jia and Guan Fang to come along. They finally arrived at campsite. The matter of Zai Zai and Lu Rang dating was still a secret. Jia felt that Guran was not tactful, so she called him aside. She wanted to give Zai Zai and Lu Rang their privacy. That night, when the two of them went stargazing, Guran once again came between them. Jia angrily called Guran to fix the lamp for him. Now only Zai Zai and Lu Rang were left together. They happily held hands and walked around. Then the two hugged each other tightly. At this moment, Guan Fang went out. He was looking for the restroom, but he saw the two of them secretly hugging each other. Guan Fang immediately ran to find Guran and Jia. He thought he had just seen a two-headed ghost. Until Zai Zai and Lu Rang appeared, Guan Fang was silent and did not speak anymore. But it seemed that the relationship between the two had been exposed. That whole night, Lu Rang was questioned by Guan Fang and Guran. They wanted to know when he and Zai Zai had started dating, but Lu Rang never had any intention of hiding it from everyone. The next day, everyone got up very early to watch the sunrise. Jia was a little sad because Guran was about to go abroad to study, but she remained silent. Guran asked everyone if they had decided on a school yet. Everyone had their own plans. The sun was starting to rise, marking a new beginning for everyone. Before Guran boarded the plane, he wrote a letter to Jia. In the letter, Guran said that the 3 years of high school were the best time of his life. Since Guran met Jia, everything was a happy memory for him. He was sure that he and Jia would meet again. Jia was moved when she read what Guran wrote. Today was Zai's first day of school. Because she was a freshman, she received help from a senior male student named Lin Nan, who guided and introduced Zai to the university. Lin Nan really liked her appearance and personality. He took her to the dormitory before leaving. Zai happily got to know her new roommates. They thought she was lucky to have a handsome guy to help her, but Zai liked someone else. At the same time, Lurong moved into the male dormitory. Unexpectedly, Zai called Lurong out to the balcony. When he saw her, he smiled happily. Today, the two of them had a dinner date together. Zai really liked this newly found restaurant. After Zai and Lurong finished eating, the restaurant also gave them a photo. Unexpectedly, Zai kissed Lurong on the cheek and smiled. He couldn't hide his joy. On the way back to the dormitory, Zai told Lurong to take good care of herself because they would soon need to study military. When Lurong saw Zai dozing in the car, he gently offered his shoulder for her to rest her head on. Just as he mustered up the courage to kiss her, she woke up. She looked at Lurong and kissed him. Lurong laughed when his girlfriend teased him like that. He immediately returned her a sweet kiss. The next day, the freshman had to attend military training. Zai was clumsy and stepped out of step. The teacher asked her to step again. Although Zai corrected her many times, she still made a mistake. The teacher saw Lin Nan and asked him to help her. Lin Nan said that he also made a mistake last year like Zai. The scene of the two laughing and talking was accidentally seen by Lurong. He felt a little jealous. At the end of the class, Lurong went to report to the teacher. Then he gave Zai a bottle of water. She smiled and took the bottle of water from Lurong. The military training period had ended. Zai went on a date with Lurong on the weekend. She was so bored that she wanted to eat jelly. Unexpectedly, Lurong had everything in his bag. He had thoughtfully prepared the things that Zai liked. She was touched that Lurong treated her well. That night, in Zai's dorm room, everyone was talking about a handsome guy. When Zai saw Lurong's photo, she proudly wanted to show off that he was her boyfriend, but her roommates didn't hear what she said. Moreover, a girl even said that she would buy milk tea for a month for whoever managed to get Lurong. Zai confidently accepted this job. The next day, when Zai was in military school, whenever she had free time, she would look for Lurong to flirt. Lurong tried to hold back her laughter at her actions. However, their relationship was eventually discovered. That night, Zai was interrogated by her roommates. The friends were angry that she had tricked them. Because Zai wanted to apologize to everyone, she told the story of how she and Lurong dated. She shyly recounted the time when the two met. At the same time, in Lurong's room, he was also interrogated by his friends. Everyone admired their relationship. The students all wanted to join a club. Because Zai had a passion for photography, she signed up to join the media club. Unexpectedly, Lin Nan was the leader of this club. Just at that time, the media club was short of people, so Zai was quickly accepted as a member. After school, Lin Nan secretly followed behind Zai, but she only focused on replying to Lurong's messages. Lin Nan asked her how she felt about the club. Then, he wanted to invite her to dinner with him, but Zai politely refused and left. The next day during lunch, Lurong was curious to see Zai so happy. She said that her post had been posted on the school's homepage. Lurong's praise made Zai happy. This afternoon, Lurong had an appointment to study with Zai, but because of the traffic jam, she hadn't come to class yet. The teacher started to take attendance. When the teacher read Zai's name, both Lurong and Lin Nan raised their hands. This caused the attendance to be exposed. Lurong looked at Lin Nan uncomfortably. After school, Lin Nan smiled and saw Zai. He apologized for making her absent earlier. Lurong saw Zai standing with Lin Nan from afar, so he called her over to his place. She quickly said goodbye to Lin Nan and ran to him. On the way back, Lurong asked who that person was. Zai said that it was the head of the media club. When Zai saw Lurong looking sad, she happily asked if he was jealous. Lurong denied it. Then he smiled and held her hand tightly. Today, Lurong's group had to give a presentation. Because he forgot the USB in Zai's bag, he asked her to bring it to class for him. Because she was free, Zai sat down to watch Lurong's presentation. As soon as Lurong finished her group presentation, the video Zai recorded was suddenly shown. Everyone was delighted by the two's cuteness. The happiest person was definitely Lurong. Zai was embarrassed and quickly ran up to turn off the video. Then she ran back to her seat and shyly lowered her head to the table. After school, Zai felt very shy. Now the whole school knew that she had confessed to Lurong. When Lurong saw her acting spoiled like that, He said that next time he would go to class to confess to her. Everything happened just as Zai Zai worried. The video quickly went viral in the school. Now Zai Zai had become a celebrity. The weather had turned to winter. Tonight, Zai Zai had a party with the club. The roommate said that the day before, Zai Zai posted that she had a cold. Lin Nan asked her roommate to give her medicine. This made Zai Zai feel that he had a strange attitude. That night when the whole club ate together, Lin Nan took good care of Zai Zai. When the group played Truth or Dare, everyone asked Lin Nan if she liked anyone. He secretly glanced at Zai Zai. Then he said that he liked someone, but he just didn't know if he would have another chance. After Zai Zai finished eating, she texted Lu Rang to pick her up. While Zai Zai was waiting for her boyfriend, Lin Nan stopped and asked if she needed him to take her home, but Zai Zai replied that she had already called her boyfriend. Lin Nan was a little disappointed and asked if that person was the one who had called the roll call for Zai Zai. She proudly said that he was the person she loved the most in the world. When Lin Nan heard Zai Zai say that, he no longer felt regretful. At this moment, Lu Rang appeared. Zai Zai happily ran over and hugged him. Lu Rang did not know what they had just talked about. Zai Zai replied that she had the best boyfriend in the world. After Lu Rang heard this, she just smiled silently. Then he pulled Zai back to give her a kiss. She was surprised that Lu Rang became more and more proactive. This made her very happy. At university, Lu Rang also joined a club. The upcoming New Year holiday, a senior named Zhou Yao wanted Lu Rang to act in a play because when he was in high school, he played the main role in a play. Although Lu Rang did not want to, he still reluctantly agreed. After leaving, Zhou Yao asked Lu Rang to go out to eat to thank him. However, he just coldly refused. Because of work, Lu Rang had to stay and work overtime with Zhou Yao. At this moment, Zai Zai opened the door and waved goodbye to Lu Rang. That action was seen by Zhou Yao. She knew that Zai Zai was Lu Rang's girlfriend, so she called Zai Zai into play. Not long after, Zai Zai's roommate discovered the big deal. They saw Zhou Yao posting a photo of him and Lu Rang, but Zai Zai realized that it was not the original photo. The photo that Zhou Yao posted was just a collage. Zai Zai immediately went to her personal page. She felt uncomfortable because Zhou Yao kept posting messages implying that she had a lover, and the person in the photo was Lu Rang. The number of posts Zhou Yao posted was increasing. Zai Zai tried to restrain herself, but in the end, she still couldn't bear it. At this moment, Zhou Yao appeared. Zai Zai walked in front of her with a smile. Zai Zai said in a hidden way that recently someone kept posting her boyfriend's pictures online. Moreover, the person who posted them refused to explain. Zhou Yao knew Zai Zai was talking about her, so she apologized. Zai Zai asked her to delete all the pictures of Lu Rang on her personal page. Although Zhou Yao smiled and agreed, she still hadn't given up. The next day, Zhou Yao was late for the meeting. Everyone felt worried when they saw her red eyes. Zhou Yao made a pitiful face and said she was fine. After the meeting, Zhou Yao's roommate went to look for Lu Rang. She blamed Zai Zai because Zai Zai asked Zhou Yao to delete the pictures, so Zhou Yao was hurt. Lu Rang looked at the girl coldly and asked, had Zhou Yao deleted all the pictures that his girlfriend didn't like? The girl was helpless when she heard that and didn't dare to say anything more. The posts about Zhou Yao on the internet became more and more numerous. People thought that someone was interfering in the relationship between Zhou Yao and Lu Rang. Zai Zai knew that Zhou Yao wanted to take her lover, so she couldn't sit still anymore. At the same time, Zhou Yao was clinging to Lu Rang. She looked pitiful and said that she was sorry to Zai Zai, but Lu Rang didn't care. Suddenly, Zai Zai appeared from behind. She ran over and hugged Lu Rang tightly. Zhou Yao deliberately ruined their relationship. However, she was not Zai Zai's opponent. No matter what tricks Zhou Yao used, Zai Zai made her give up. Lu Rang tried to hold back her laughter and cooperated with her girlfriend. Finally, Zhou Yao was so embarrassed that she left. That night, the posts of Lu Rang's pictures were deleted. Zai Zai was satisfied that she won, but there was one thing that made her happier. That was Lu Rang publicly posted her picture. Now everyone knew that Zai Zai and Lu Rang were a couple. Time passed very quickly. The first semester had ended. The students began their holiday. Zai Zai and Lu Rang decided to go back to Jiangyi to visit their family. She was happy to be able to return to her hometown with him. The familiar house gradually appeared before their eyes. Zai Zai wanted to invite Lu Rang to come over to play, and at the same time, she wanted to make their relationship public to everyone. Lu Rang said that teacher Lin knew about them. Zai Zai felt worried when she heard that, because Lu Rang's family was her homeroom teacher. When the two were hugging at the end of the alley, Zai Zai's parents returned. They saw the two hugging and criticized them. But when Zai Zai's parents realized that it was their daughter, they angrily called her name. Zai Zai panicked and wanted to hide Lu Rang, but Lu Rang said it was okay. When Zai Zai's parents saw that their daughter's boyfriend was Lu Rang, both of them immediately changed their attitudes. They quickly pulled Lu Rang into the house, leaving Zai Zai standing alone in the alley. Mom curiously asked how long the two had known each other. Zai Zai quickly replied that they had known each other for half a year. However, her parents did not listen listen to Zai Zai's words. They only cared about the son-in-law sitting in front of them. This made Zai Zai feel a little disappointed. The next day, it was Zai Zai's turn to meet Lu Ran's family. Although Zai Zai had prepared well, she still felt nervous when she arrived. Lu Ran comforted her and held her hand tightly as she walked in. When Zai Zai faced the homeroom teacher, she felt uncomfortable. Teacher Lin was very happy to know that Zai Zai and Lu Rang were in love. Teacher Lin was very happy for Lu Rang. He said that Lu Ran was a good boy, but he was quiet because he lacked love. So Teacher Lin wanted to thank Zai Zai because she had made Lu Ran the man he is today. After Zai Zai finished talking to Teacher Lin, Lu Rang took her home. This was the 4th year that the two of them had known each other. The first snow of the season had also begun to fall. Zai Zai quickly prayed for a wish for herself. Lu Rang laughed when she saw how cute Zai Zai was. He deliberately teased her a little. Then he held her hand tightly. The relationship between the two people became better over time. Every beautiful memory had their presence. Time flew by, and the 4 years of university had ended. Zai Zai and Lu Ran were about to graduate. Zai Zai happily took a few more photos and sent them to Lu Ran. Suddenly, Lu Ran appeared behind with a bouquet of fresh flowers. He came to congratulate her on her graduation. Zai Zai was moved and ran to hug Lu Ran tightly. After Zai Zai and Lu Ran graduated, each of them had their own job. Zai Zai also moved in with Lu Rang. The two were happy because this was their shared home. Zai Zai meant to tease Lu Ran. However, in the end, she was made obedient by him. Lu Ran gently pressed Zai Zai down on the chair. After a while, Zai Zai became an intern at a media company. Today was her first day at work, so she excitedly greeted everyone. Time passed and it was winter. After work, Zai Zai texted Lu Rang, but he still had to stay and work overtime. However, Zai Zai did not go home first, but went to the company to pick up Lu Rang. When Lu Rang saw Zai Zai, all his fatigue gradually disappeared. The two of them happily laughed and joked on the way home. At the same time, in a faraway country, Guran was packing up to return home. Guran was very excited about this return. He immediately called his close friends. Guran also did not forget to call Jia. They had not seen each other for a long time. Although they were far away, their feelings remained unchanged. Even Zai Zai could see their feelings. On the way, Zai Zai met an old classmate. The friend was surprised to learn that Zai Zai and Lu Ran were still in love. She was proud of her love. That night, the group had a meeting. Although they had been apart for many years, their friendship was still very good. While having fun, Zai Zai accidentally drank a little alcohol. Although her drinking ability was not good, Lu Ran still wanted to let her have some fun. As a result, Zai Zai and Guan Fang both got drunk. When Zai Zai got drunk, she gradually became a different person. Lu Rang held back her laughter and took care of her girlfriend. Today, Zai Zai had to go on a business trip with the company. When she arrived, she happily told Lu Ran about the beautiful scenery there, but things got worse when it came to lunch. A partner deliberately touched Zai Zai, which made her uncomfortable. He also forced her to drink alcohol. However, Zai Zai's superior did not object, but he also signaled her to do as her partner wanted. Zai Zai felt annoyed, so she politely refused. Because she wanted to keep the business for the company, she had to endure being chased out by her partner. The sky had also turned dark. Because Zai Zai had not eaten anything, she felt hungry. Her colleague saw that Zai Zai was pitiful, so she brought Zai Zai some cakes. She felt sorry for herself and sat eating the cakes alone. At this moment, Lu Rang called. He was worried when he heard Zai Zai's voice, as if she was about to cry. She said that she really wanted to go home, but the last flight had already left. Zai Zai asked Lu Ran if she had done something wrong. He comforted her and said that she was not wrong. Zai Zai sat at a bus stop to calm her emotions. She didn't know where she was going. At this moment, a black car arrived. Zai Zai was moved when she saw Lu Ran appear before her eyes. She wondered why he came here. Lu Rang said that he came to take her home. Zai Zai cried in Lu Rang's arms. After returning home, Zai Zai's mood improved. She happily ate the bowl of noodles that Lu Ran prepared. Lu Rang told Zai Zai that he hoped she could bother him more in the future. Those sincere words made Zai Zai feel happy again. The next day, Guran asked Jia out to eat. However, Jia was busy, which made him feel a little disappointed. After all, Guran had already made a reservation, so he had to ask Lu Ran and Guan Fang to go with him. They were embarrassed because that place was a lover's shop. Unexpectedly, Jia also came here. She said that she had an appointment with her friend here. When Guran saw that Jia's friend was a man, he was jealous and stared at him. This made Lu Ran wonder why Guran hadn't confessed to Jia yet. Guan Fang was also surprised to know Guran's feelings. However, Guran felt that confession was difficult to say. He didn't dare to confess his feelings to Jia. He was afraid that he would lose a good friend in the future. But when Guran saw Jia being intimate with someone else, he made up his mind to confess. Guran wanted to ask for experience from the two friends, but Lu Rang was being courted by Zai Zai, and Guan Fang didn't have a lover. In the end, Guran had no choice but to act on her own. That night, Guran was waiting for Jia at the door. Although Guran had made up his mind, mind. When he saw Jia, he was worried and left. Suddenly, Jia called Guran's name. She wanted to say something but suddenly stopped. Jia said goodbye and went upstairs. This made Guran think for days and couldn't sleep. Lu Rang's high school reunion was going to be held at the weekend. When Guran heard that Jia was coming, he dressed up and waited for her at the meeting place. After all, Guran was a popular guy. At this moment, Jia walked in from the door. Seeing her, Guran's heart beat faster. He stared at Jia blankly without blinking. Just as Guran was about to speak, another male friend asked Jia to dance. Although Jia wanted to refuse, Guran, who was beside her, kept bad-mouthing her. This made Jia agree to the dance invitation. As soon as Jia left, a friend approached Guran. He wanted to ask for Jia's number so they could talk later. After the party ended, Guran stood silently outside the balcony. Suddenly, Jia's best friend came over. She was surprised to see Guran not coming back with Jia. Her best friend asked if they were a couple. Guran asked her in surprise. It turned out that in the last summer of high school, Jia had confided to her friends that she had feelings for Guran. When Guran found out about this, he quickly ran to find Jia. This time he was determined to confess. Guran said that the letter from back then was still half missing, and now was the time for him to express all his feelings. Jia was silent and waited. Guran began to open the letter that he had always carried with him. It was the feeling that he had hidden throughout his high school years. The person that Guran had liked all along was Jia. She had also been waiting for this confession for a long time. Then she stepped forward and gave him a sweet kiss. Now the group of 5 friends had 2 couples. Only Guan Fang was still single. The group decided to go to the beach. From back then, Lu Rang revealed to his best friend that after he finished project, he would propose to Zai Zai. Today is the most important day of the project. Lu Rang stood in front of many people to introduce product. When Lu Rang saw Zai Zai, he felt like he was filled with confidence. When the judges asked what helped him complete the project, Lu Rang looked at Zai Zai. He said that she was the one who changed him. When Zai Zai heard Lu Rang's sincere words, she was moved and shed tears. After the discussion ended, Zai Zai asked Lu Rang to reward her. He laughed and kissed her cheek. Lu Rang then led Zai Zai to an empty house. He said that this was the gift he gave her. They would live together here in the future. Zai Zai was happy and thought about the bright future. Suddenly, the lights in the room went out. The video that Lu Rang filmed was projected on the wall. He had kept the memories of both of them from the first years they knew each other until now. This was the gift that Lu Rang spent all his youth preparing. Today was the day Lu Rang proposed to Zai Zai. She turned to look at him emotionally. Lu Rang said that since meeting Zai Zai, he knew how beautiful his life was. Starting from the smallest things at school until now, what he wanted most was to be with Zai Zai. The two of them would have a happy family. Lu Rang knelt down and took out the wedding ring. He wanted to be the one to grow old with her. Zai Zai was touched and agreed. She hugged Lu Rang and felt happy. Not long after, Zai Zai asked Jia to go for a walk together. At this time, Jia also accepted Guran's proposal. Before getting married, the 2 girls went drinking together. After Zai Zai got drunk, Jia called Lu Rang to pick her up. Lu Rang was helpless when he saw his future wife singing loudly in the middle of the night. After that, Zai Zai even acted spoiled with him. The 2 had a happy night together. The most important moment had finally arrived. Today was Lu Rang and Zai Zai's wedding. He was moved when he saw her walk down the aisle. This was something Lu Rang had dreamed of for a long time. Everyone clapped their hands to bless the bride and groom. Then the 2 exchanged kisses in front of the guests. Their beautiful love story ended with a wedding. Zai Zai and Lu Rang officially became a family. Not long after, Zai Zai asked Lu Rang out for a walk. When Lu Rang arrived, she ran to hug him tightly. Zai Zai said that she had just arrived at the hospital. Lu Rang was a little worried when he heard that. However, when he saw Zai Zai's attitude, he didn't understand what was going on. When Zai Zai said that she was pregnant, Lu Rang didn't believe what he heard. He laughed and looked at Zai Zai. Then he gave her a kiss. This is what Lu Rang had been wishing for all this time. Today's movie ends here. See you again in the next videos.